What's up, you gold dirty motherfuckers? Oh, that's us. Sorry. Gold dirty bastards in the house. What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? We took a bye week this last week, so we got a lot to catch up on.
Bye weeks lately.
Yeah, we always take bye weeks, so nothing special. So anyway, tonight I am kind of excited. Well, not kind of. I'm really excited, but to introduce our guest over here, a nice special guest, the creator of Last Second Sports, and he also writes for all 49ers FN and occasional person I troll on Twitter, which I'm actually surprised he came on here because I know the piss out of him.
He annoys the shit out of everybody, so I'm very surprised as well. Very surprised.
Mainly Lance fans because we'll get into it in a minute. But here he is, folks. We have Mr. Nails, Jesse Naylor. So how you doing tonight, Jesse?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, I think it's funny. You have a bunch of discourse on Twitter, and I don't know, like I prefer to like be in Twitter Spaces or like in a forum like this where you can actually talk through and like hear opinions. Yeah. Certainly, I think I can get under people's skin on Twitter too.
Oh, I definitely know.
I'm known to troll a time or two, so it is what it is, man. I don't hold any grudges, especially when it comes to Twitter. I'll talk with anybody if they really want to talk. So
no
I'm down.
He's the Twitter representative. I'd never go on Twitter. Him and our other co-host. He's
probably not better. It's a cesspool.
It for sure is. But your Spaces, I mean, they'd be like hundreds of people on there. I don't even try to attempt to raise my hand out here. You got so many people on there. I listen every now and then, and I come back in. But yeah, but I will say that I do give Jesse the utmost respect. Even when I'm twittering and getting other people's nerves, I give him the utmost respect. I never come out of pocket with him. Other people, I give it to other people. But,
yeah.
Jesse, nah.
This guy causes nothing but ruckus on Twitter. I see his threads. Yeah, he's a menace. Definitely.
Especially now with these Eagle fans. Shit. Oh my goodness.
Well, let's get into that. We haven't got a chance to cover the Niners and Eagles. Let's just touch on it real quick. I don't want to spend too much time on it.
Sure.
You probably broke it down already.
Not to interrupt you, but I'm sorry. But before we start, I want to say, so about roughly about a year and a half ago, Jesse had a YouTube channel. He was doing it, and some dipshit kind of put the brakes on it a little. But I'm glad to say that he came back stronger than ever, and I'm glad to see that. Because I don't want to see stupid shit or have good people be messed with like that. So
congratulations
on that, because you got close to what, almost 10,000.
We're close, man. We're fighting.
So
fighting for 10K.
I know. I mean, our 6 viewers and our 200 fans. I don't know if we can help you get over there, but if you do come across Last Second Sports, go ahead and subscribe to them. Same thing. Hit that bell.
Man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. And on Twitter, this guy's big too. Got about 5,000 followers on Twitter and stuff. I mean, look. I like.
Maybe you could send some your way, because I think you got like 29. Yeah, you gotta get shit up.
Stop trolling people. That'll start there.
There you go.
There you go. That's some great advice.
It's only one Lance, though. That's the only thing. But we'll get in. So
let's get into the Eagles, and then we'll touch on Lance. That's
sure.
with me and you, it's probably gonna be a while on the Lance, Jimmy. It's always
you got a partner now, so you're good. You got more ammo. But actually,
we didn't get a chance to touch on this Eagles game. We I don't know why we didn't come on, but there was some reason. I think scheduling.
Heartbreak.
Yeah.
No, more anger from me. And I'm upset from the start, because as soon as Jimmy went down, you can go check the receipts on this podcast. What did I say, Womack? You need to go get a veteran quarterback. And their answer was Josh Johnson. I don't understand it. I know Shanny's familiar with him and this and that, but the guys Shanny's familiar with rarely contribute, in my opinion. So I just don't understand what the thought process was, especially when you have this team has been plagued by quarterbacks dropping like flies. So what is the thought process from Shanny? I'm just asking a general question. Anybody can answer if you want. I just didn't understand it, going into this playoff season. And I think I said it the week before, and I might have jinxed it. Remember? I said the only thing that can stop this team is if Brock Purdy goes down for injury. And sure enough, the next week, I don't know.
What do you think? What do you think about that, Jesse? What are your thoughts? Because I'm pretty sure
So you're the guy that we're going to blame for the injury. Got it. Now we know where to focus our anger. No, I think, and it's funny because the way they talk about the Baker Mayfield situation, it's almost as if they didn't have any interest. I think they knew that Baker Mayfield was going to be plucked up most likely by the Rams, and so they didn't put in a bid, more so to like show the team like, hey, we're good here, and that's what they're trying to portray. But I mean, at the end of the day, the Rams potentially stopped the 49ers from winning a Super Bowl, because if they had Baker Mayfield on this roster, I'm not a Baker fan by any means, but Josh Johnson to Baker Mayfield, I mean, that's night and day. Baker Mayfield actually could have possibly won that game, and
I think he could have
likely won that game for the Niners.
We could beat him with fucking
now
Gardner Minshew. Shit.
Was that past the trade deadline when Baker Mayfield was being
talked about? So he was released, and so it came down to waiver wire order.
Yeah,
and the 49ers were like 20.
No, but I'm saying when he was released, was it past the trade deadline already?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. How far?
Yep.
You know? Because I know they were trying to trade for him. I guess what I'm saying is, when did Jimmy go down in respect to when Baker got released? Wasn't he on the trade market before that?
It was like a week or two difference. So Jimmy goes down during the bye week, which was week 8, which is also the trade deadline, I believe, 7 or 8. And then a week or two later is when Baker gets released.
So couldn't we have thrown out a 5th rounder or something? I mean, of course we could have, but do you think we should have just jumped on something like that?
Jimmy wasn't hurt yet.
Oh, he wasn't hurt yet. Okay.
Yeah, there would have been no point.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because they got him before Jimmy went down, right?
So Jimmy got hurt after the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
But
gotcha.
Anyway, Josh Johnson. But you know what though? Because we were talking about this too. I think we're the only ones probably talking about this, because I was like, well, what if Josh Johnson had to get in there? You know, I don't know.
And what did I say?
On it. He said, hell no. And I was like, well, I know he sucks and everything like that, but he could probably be serviceable, and with everything around him, like he probably could at least. I mean, shit, you could throw it to the flat. You could do a little dink and dunk, pretty what we were doing already.
Did it look like he can do that stuff when he got in the game?
Well, I mean, dude, you're coming off the bench in the championship game. You're gonna be a little rattled, but I mean, he led us to a scoring drive, right? I mean, even though Chris McCaffrey,
I had zero confidence. I mentioned it the week before. I had zero confidence. You asked me that question. Do I think Josh Johnson would be serviceable? I said, hell no, no chance. Absolutely not. I had no confidence in that. Just because, what has he ever done in his? I'm not trying to shit on him, but I mean, he hasn't had much success in the NFL. I think his first stint with Tampa, he did okay at times, but after that, I mean, he kind of fell off the face of the earth. We mentioned it. We listed every single team. He played for 4 different leagues: Wildcats, Sabercats, Thundercats, all kinds of cats.
Yeah, every cat.
Yes. And I don't have any issues with him personally. You know, as a player, I wish my issue's more with Shanny. Like, you should have known this ahead of time, that Josh Johnson would not be the answer. Now you're getting these weird stories that Jimmy may have been able to come back. I don't really believe that, but there are some rumblings that Jimmy was maybe having issues with the management and Shanny, and that's why he wasn't available for that game. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I mean, these issues have been here for a while. Before the season started in 2021, I think it was Yee came out in an interview and was like, yeah, we don't really feel like Jimmy's been treated fairly in San Francisco. And so it was glossed over. Not a lot of people talked about it, but that interview's out there to be had. Mm-hmm. So they've had issues with Shanahan potentially for a while. And, it was, I think last year was a situation that Shanahan was glad to move on from Jimmy. Jimmy was glad to move on from the 49ers and Shanahan, but because of the way things played out, it just made sense for him to come back. I mean, we can work business. Then you have the alleged play against Denver where he says, your plays suck, man. They're both awkwardly talking about it for the next week. You can tell there's tension between those two. It's strictly a professional relationship, and that's it. And so to expect Jimmy Garoppolo to come in that scenario. I mean, I think you can go find tweets from a lot of different people and conversations from a lot of different people that said, even if he's healthy, there's no way Don Yee lets him play. And this was a week after the injury. A lot of people thought that was going to happen. So now all of a sudden we're surprised if it does happen or when it did happen. We saw this coming from a mile away.
Well, what about Smilegate? What did you think about that?
Here's my theory on Jimmy, and I could be wrong. He's done it so many times in the worst situations, including by the way, when Trey was being carted off the field.
Oh yeah, I mentioned that on the show. Yep.
I feel like it's a nervous tick. There's no other explanation for it. If it's not a nervous tick, he's like the most diabolical a-hole in the world. That's the only other explanation. So it's got to be a nervous tick. That's the only thing that explains it.
But you do got those players from New England, nailing some stuff in his coffin, talking about he wasn't ready to go, but Jacoby Brissett was messed up, and he came on and played. And this isn't the first time. This happened last time he got injured too. Was it last year or what?
2020. 2021. I mean, last year he fought through it. I mean, he was a gamer. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. But that was.
Well, let's get Jimmy's public defender in the top left corner here to represent.
Well, let me make something clear. Like, I didn't even think the dude was even going to be on this team for this year, because I was, just going in. Let's fast forward to this season. So before the season started, I didn't think this dude was even going to be set foot on the Niners. He was already training somewhere else. He was already going. They banished him to another field even when he was on here, because no one would trade for him, and just whatever. They try to see if they get maybe some last minute trade if someone probably go down in the preseason, but that never happened. But then they end up signing him, get Purdy, put him on the practice squad. But Trey's the guy, right? So going into the season, that was one question mark for me was Trey Lance, only because the same thing that I always say, I argue with everyone with, he was kind of this 1 year, not 1 year wonder, but he's just this first year quarterback in college, and then drafted high. I see kind of shades of Trubisky there. And me personally, not just quarterback.
I see no Trubisky there. Let me jump in right there. I see no, absolutely no Mitchell Trubisky there.
Okay, I'll get to my point then. At least Trubisky played at NC State, right? Or North Carolina. So just not with quarterbacks, just with players in general. I don't like 1 year wonder dudes. I'm pretty sure you remember Kent Bomber, right? You remember that, how he's all tearing everything up, and that's it. And then even me and this guy were even back then, we were like, yeah, this dude's he ain't it. Get drafted by Niners and what happened?
Well, get me started on Niner drafts, please. Can we not?
Yeah, we've been through hell with all these.
You know personally all the players I wanted to take and how mad I've been.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The last 10 years, pretty much.
So but I was willing to ride. Like, I think I had him going probably 8 and 9 for the season. Like, I wasn't really high on Lance. Okay, let's just put that out there. I know everyone else is. I wasn't. But at this point, I will say, no one still the way I feel about him. No, I'm not right or wrong about it. I don't think anyone's really right or wrong about Trey at this point, because we really haven't seen nothing. Okay,
that's a big point right there, because you go on Twitter, you go on Facebook, and everybody is throwing out the B word. Everybody is throwing out the B word, and I'm like, based off of what? Based off of what? So let me ask you, based off of what?
Because, and I say this all the time, just what I've seen in college, I didn't think it would translate to the NFL. I didn't think.
What about that season that he played? That was pretty solid.
Yeah, but you see him bowling over defenders, bowling over linebackers. You see him outrunning people. Even the people he was throwing to were like wide open. He wasn't really challenged.
I mean, that's the case with a lot of the quarterbacks coming out of college.
Yeah,
these guys from Alabama got fully loaded rosters.
Yeah,
am I wrong or right?
No, you're wrong. I mean, you're right. But in that case, they still played the Clemsons. They still played competition. Was, you know what I'm saying?
But you're also not taking into account the fact that he's running the offense with inferior talent as well.
Okay, but he's playing, but it's kind of a wash, because if you ain't really playing nobody,
exactly,
it's not.
But you still hold it against him.
Showing us I do, and I'm still convicted. Trust me, I still think he's a bust. I still think all this, but like I said, at this point, I'm still not right about it. You know what I mean? And
I know.
I've said if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, hey, if I'm wrong about shit, I don't mind being wrong about fucking nothing. Because if I'm wrong about shit, then that just means we're doing good, and It's only when I'm right about the shit that is when I'm worried. Like, oh, this dude's a fucking bust, and then he turns out to be a bust. Fuck. Like, all right, I didn't want it, but so if I eat crow, I don't give a shit. I eat crow as long as he's doing something. So
who did you want in that draft?
So let me answer this before this guy jumps in, because this is another thing we fight about all the time. So coming out, we were at 12. I said I would not trade up for none of these quarterbacks. So I want to understand, Pat, where we were at. Maybe get a corner. I like Farley coming out. So I was like, maybe get a corner, because at that point, you know, our depth at corner was kind of wishy-washy.
And
so
can I jump in?
Of course you can.
Who predicted that Dolphins trade? Who predicted the Dolphins trade way before anybody else?
Yeah, Nostradamus over here. And he actually did say that. He was like, we're going to trade with the Dolphins. Watch. I want to understand, Pat, at 12. I was like, dude, I'm not trading up for none of these quarterbacks. I don't think it's worth it. And then here we go, jumping up to 3. I'm like, all right. So to answer your question, I'm going to get killed for this, but I thought Zach Wilson was the best quarterback coming out. Okay. Obviously now it's a little different. It might be some time he could probably salvage something. But
the talent was there, but I wouldn't have said the best. The talent was there, but
yeah, but
had some red flags.
For what I seen where I look, he could scramble. He had a decent enough arm. He could put it, you know, he was decently accurate, I think. But the same thing, BYU, you really, in the smarts, but he lacked that. But everything physically, I was like, okay, well, this dude. I was actually scared of Mac, because you know all that Mac Jones shit was going on. I was scared of that. I was like, no. I was like, I told these guys.
That's right. You wanted to get you wanted to trade up and get the tight end.
Pitts.
Pitts.
You wanted to get Pitts.
I was like, I didn't get Pitts. Let's just throw a curveball in there. Yeah. So so that was it. But at 3, three comes along. You knew Lawrence was off the board. We already knew who was going 1 and 2, right? So pretty much the draft started at 3. So I was like, we need to get Justin Fields. He was like, you didn't want Fields. Well, I was like, that's not true. I said the best QB was Wilson, but at 3, when everyone was available, it's true. When everyone was available, I was like Justin Fields. And that Clemson game showed me, because he 6 touchdowns.
Not what you said, but go ahead.
Go back. We got receipts. You can go back. He threw he competition. He played injured, did 6 touchdowns, beat the national champions. You know, and I was like, dude, that's, if anyone, that's the guy. So that was that. So that didn't happen, Lance. And I'm like, oh, you can see it. I don't know if you ever get bored, Jesse, you go and we have our draft special. And let me tell you.
How did you feel about Fields after 4 games?
I felt that he had nothing. He didn't have no O-line. He had no running back. He didn't really have nothing. Nothing that we have anyway. You know what I mean? So, and I thought he did decent. That game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he almost single-handedly came back and beat them, I was like, okay, well, this dude might be something, right? So
we still don't know what he is, honestly, though.
Yeah, we don't. And same thing with Trey, and that's what I'm saying. Now, you know, I'll give it up to that. Like I said, nobody's right or wrong at this point. If you like him or hate him, it's like, because we still don't know. Like I said, you can come
nobody's right or wrong, but that's the problem, is everybody's labeling the bust label. That's the problem I have. You could say, I don't think he's going to be good, but to be like, he's a bust flat out, that don't really add up. Based off of 4 games.
What do you say?
Like you just mentioned.
Because he have a case for this guy. That's why I troll him. But what do you think? Coming out, everything. I want to know just.
Yeah. I'll go through the whole process. Let me start with where I'm at right now. I know that, like, you know, in limited characters, it seems like I'm just like, think this is going to be the best quarterback in the NFL. He's the next Josh Allen. Like, this is what, like, people label me as. But when you hear me talk about it, it's like, hey, I think he's going to be really, really good. But we haven't seen it yet. We can't say for sure. I'm saying the same thing that you are, but from the opposite end of the spectrum. Like, I think he's going to be a very good player. I think he's going to be a bona fide top 7 guy. But I don't know that for sure. There's no way I can say that for sure. But let's go back. So when the 49ers were at 12, I was the same situation as you. I wanted J.C. Horn. That was my guy.
Yeah.
I wanted him to be our corner. I thought he was a stud. Then they move up to 3. Very, very first episode I did on Grant's show, once they moved up to 3, I said Trey Lance and Kyle Shanahan will be the ultimate disaster. and I, because I knew there was a lot of work that would have to go into Trey Lance. And I was not actually the biggest Trey Lance fan. What happened was My YouTube stuff started taking off just enough to where I started getting little connections here or there to where I could get a hold of like all 22 and start like really breaking these players down. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I get my hands on that. I start just like going through all the quarterbacks and I'm like, I was wrong, man. Trey Lance he's it. Like he's the guy. And I started doing interviews and reaching out to quarterback coaches and was able to talk to his quarterback coach who also had worked with Justin Fields.
I seen that that you did with him.
Yeah, and so he sold me on it. And what's even crazier is like he sold I think he sold like everybody on it on the show. But what he was saying behind the scenes to me was what I was really sold about, and how he was talking about him versus Justin Fields. Because I told him before we came on the show, I said, just be, we were talking on the phone for like 45 minutes. I said, just be straight with me. Like, who of these guys should I be like giddy about? You've seen them all throw next to each other. You've seen them at these camps. Like, who's the guy? And he's like, listen, I'm telling you, like, we work with Deshaun Watson. We work with Justin Fields. He's like, Trey Lance is him. He's different. It's different with this kid. I'm like, okay. So he kind of started to sell me on it. All 22 was kind of backing up what he was saying. And so I became the Trey guy. Like, now I'm the Trey guy. And, I thought he would be the pick. I was ecstatic when they picked him. And I still think that Trey Lance can be the guy. But to me, a lot of people talk about Trey Lance as if he's like this athletic marvel. And that's what I never saw that from him. I agree with what you said, Womack, where it's like, okay, yes, he's running over these people in college, but I never thought that was like the strength of his game that sold me on it. What sold me on him was playing under center, having a verbose playbook, huddling up, which most of these kids don't do in college, running a more of a Shanahan pro style offense. He got to the line. He called his own audibles. He called his own protections. Most of these kids are not doing that. So I'm like, okay, yes, it's from the FCS. I get that. But he is training like an actual pro quarterback is. He's not looking over at the sideline with a cardboard cutout of this symbol in this magazine and calling a play, no huddle. He's actually having to go through these motions that are going to be important. So what sold me on him was his mind, his arm, and like 6 down the list is, okay, yeah, he's also very athletic. But I even said then, he doesn't look like a natural runner to me. He's more of, okay, I can scramble. But if you design run for him, he's not beating defensive ends to the edge on a regular basis. That wasn't in his game in college at the FCS level. So there's no way he's going to be able to do it in the NFL. But I feel like a lot of people label him as this running quarterback, and that's what he is. It's like, no, if you wanted to run that offense, that crap that Shanahan was doing with him last year, Justin Fields would have been the right pick. He would have been the right pick. Yeah. That's a Justin Fields game plan. That's not a Trey Lance game plan.
Yeah, exactly. And that's and that's kind of the thing. Even so we'll go ahead. So we'll forward to this year because that was the thing. When I seen that Chicago game and some of that stuff, I just see him get hit, get landed on, do this. And I'm like, dude, the way this is going, this is not, you know what I mean? Like, he's not going to last long. And,
this is coming from a guy that doesn't like him. You're even saying it. Yeah,
for sure. We were all saying that. I mean, even last year, like even in the Arizona game, he had flaws,
Shanny called it a terrible game.
Yeah, and
terrible game. Take the field goal when you have a rookie quarterback on the road. Take some field goals. Why are you going for it? You're trying to be aggressive, but this guy has a history of just doing the opposite of what he's supposed to do. Like, he has terrible timing, Shanahan does, on some of these things. Just kick the field goal. You got a rookie quarterback, first start on the road, take the points. That's my point. And there was I think 3 of those situations where you could have took those points, and it ended up being what, a 1-score game.
Somewhere around there.
Just a poor game plan.
Yeah,
in general. But go ahead.
And then fast forward, and then we go to that Seahawks game, and it was just like, he did. I mean, I missed it because the sports bar I was at put it on right, because I'm in Southern California, right? So they don't play a lot of Niner games there. I got to go to freaking sports bars or wherever the hell I can go to play it. So it happened. I was like, what the hell? And it happened when Jimmy got injured too for some reason. I didn't see it, but it's just the quarterback.
Well, you're a jinx here.
Yeah, serious. But I was seeing it, and we're right. I think it actually turned on right when he got injured. So I looked at it and I was like, oh yeah, why would you do that to this dude? Like, and I was actually pissed because this is Shanahan-esque, because Shanahan is look, everyone talks about how offensive genius, whatever like that, because we're Shanahan bashers on here. Like we don't care. We're not homers, nothing like that.
I'm not a. I mean, at times I am, but
I'm
I call it how I see it. I'm not going to be
yeah,
a homer.
I'm a basher as far as all the quarterbacks that he's had. Whatever, like he's never really developed anyone.
That's
Right?
true.
They all came. Matt Ryan was already somewhat seasoned, right? Like he had his things. Shanahan just give him a
Very
playbook,
seasoned. Yeah.
and they had weapons already. He had Julio, all that, so he had a lot to work with. Even and where the Texans, where he had Matt Schaub, you know what I mean? Like he was, he didn't work in at
RG
all.
kind of ran to the ground.
Well, and there you go. Then he has RG3, and look what happens. That's why I didn't think Trey would be the pick because it didn't seem like his quarterback. He likes the Beathards. That's why I was scared that it was going to be Mac Jones because that fits his MO. You know what I mean? You got the Beathards and what the Kirk Cousins and all this shit. That's why it kind of threw me for a curve. They went with Lance. But
I guess you could kind of give him credit for developing Kirk, but not really. I mean that would be the closest thing you could
4
use.
games when Shanahan was there.
That would be the closest thing you could give though to developing a quarterback.
Yeah,
that was more McVay.
Yeah, if anything, right? So that's just where it was, and I was like, okay, he got crushed. I was like, but this kind of happens. Like you've seen where this was going, whether it was the Arizona game or even parts of that Chicago game. Like you kind of seen it wasn't gonna like he wasn't gonna last that long doing the shit that they were doing, right? And sure enough, crack, boom, fractured ankle. There you go. So
you could say that when Trey looked bad, it was not necessarily all his fault either, right? Some of that was Shanny.
Some of it, the running with them and doing those type of plays that that Jesse was talking about, where you're these design run plays. That's the part on Shane which didn't be there. But no, I mean, look, he was take what you want for preseason. I've seen him, 55%, and he did it this last preseason. He did it the preseason before because he took a lot of those reps at preseason. They were almost trying to give him the thing, and he, for whatever reason, he didn't end up, taking that starting spot. But
jump in real quick. You harp on the completion percentage all the time. You go back and you look at Joe Montana's second year. I believe he was 50%. So in your eyes, he would have been a bust too. Just to throw that out there.
Yeah, but we didn't give up all these picks and move number 3 for him. We was his third rounder, so it's
got to get over the picks though. If you're going after a franchise quarterback, don't you think he's worth three first round picks?
No.
You don't think a franchise quarterback in today's game is worth 3 first round picks? You wouldn't give up 3 first round picks for a shot at Joe Burrow?
No, I wouldn't. Not for Joe Burrow. I mean, we see what he is now. Wow. He's good now, but I wouldn't give up no 3 first. I wouldn't give up that type of capital for, any player. You know what I mean?
But you're going to have to if you're going to draft a franchise quarterback. Not too many franchise quarterbacks become free agents. So you're going to have to make a move.
If Lance would have had 2 years under his belt, then I'd have been a little more open to it. If we were at 3, started up at 3, and would have got Lance, I would have been more open to it. But giving it up to move up to some, you know what I mean? I would just like, I don't already.
So if we were at 12 and stayed there and he had fallen there, you would have been okay with the pick?
I'd have been
a lot more okay with it?
I would have been a lot more okay with it because we didn't have to do anything. Like, and you fell to us, okay, do we need this? We kind of need a quarterback. I mean, even you had him as a second rounder. I had him as probably. Like
I did
third.
because I see raw talent there. But when I started thinking about Shanny working with him, I was a little more encouraged. I'm like, I started looking at more of his tape, and I'm like, in this system, I could see it. I wouldn't have got him at 3. I wanted Justin Fields. I wouldn't have got him at 3. But I came around pretty quick, saying like, okay, I could see the thought process of making the pick.
He did. He's the Jesse of our podcast with the.
No, I mean because when you go back and you look, you see the play actions, you see some of the bootlegs when he was at North Dakota State, and you're like, okay, in our offense, he had his Christian Watson running the reverses like Debo. He was their deep threat. He was their Debo essentially. You could see some of the thought process. You could see he has some nice touch on the deep passes. So like I said, personally, I would have took Fields at 3. But, I was fine with him being like more in the Lamar mode in our offense with all the weapons we have running the ball. And, just the fact that Justin Fields does have a big arm, that it would keep defenses honest enough where you could still run a lot of that stuff and they couldn't key in too much because he would have that home run deep threat ability. So that was my thought process on that. Now looking at it, even just in the small sample size, you could see Lance has better accuracy and touch than Fields. Not saying he's going to be a better player, but he does have more potential to be a better passing quarterback, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, he could. And then because so this season was crazy enough as was, right? Okay, so Lance goes down, and here comes good old Jimmy back, right? So here go back on the Jimmy train. I was like, oh, now I switched mine from 8 and 9 to okay, now we might, I didn't want to go 13-4. I was like, maybe we go 12-5, maybe 11-6. I was like, okay, do that.
Who was spot on though? Who was spot on?
What,
Just asking
initially?
a question. Who made the spot on pick?
Oh, you at 13 and what the hell we finished at 13-4?
13-4. Yeah, I think I called that one. But that was with Lance at quarterback. But I did call it at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I adjusted it. So, I don't think
you said we were going to be 8 and 9 with Lance.
Well, Lance, yeah, I'd say that.
Yeah, hater.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
That's me. But would you guys agree that this is probably one of the craziest seasons that the Niners had like ever?
Oh yeah.
Huh? Probably by far. It's probably the top one, right? Because here Jimmy comes in and then okay, here goes Jimmy, and then we start off again, right? So we lose to the Broncos. Like, okay, what the hell is going on with this, right? Jimmy does this, blame Jamie for the safety, which if he didn't get the safety, it would have been a pick six. So I'm like,
the only pick in NFL history.
That we could have had the number 1 seed if it wasn't for that play. I'll just throw that out there real quick.
Yeah, maybe. And then then
maybe,
we go and we play, we get together, and then here comes Atlanta. And we're kind of injured at this point, right? Because Mosley went down in Carolina. I think he went down.
Defense was really banged up.
Yeah, and so we try to, pick it up, and then Atlanta.
I want to say we're down like 5 or 6 starters defensively in that game.
There was points in that game. They were down 8 starters. Yeah. It was bad.
And Atlanta, and to make matters worse, to pour it all on, they were like, they were just running down our throat. We couldn't stop the run for shit in that game, right? So
that's part of a product of all the injuries out there.
Yeah, and so here we go, Kansas City. So we're down like Jesse said, about 8 starters now, probably 9. I don't know how many. We had too many fucking. And then here comes KC. We're hanging one, but then here comes another loss. So all of a sudden we're back at 3-4, and we're like, shit, right? Like, what's going on? And then here comes, actually before that, let's rewind a little bit, a couple of days. Trade deadline gets here. And what happened? Oh, CMC to the rescue, right? And we're like, oh, shit, okay.
And that's when Jimmy got better. And I did not like all the credit he was getting for the offense improvements. You've seen the numbers when CMC came in. Jimmy was there. Jimmy was what he always is. Jimmy was Jimmy. But everybody was giving him all this credit, saying he's so great. He was doing what he's supposed to do. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but he was game managing.
He was the same exact player. he was no different to me.
Yeah, except he's a running back a little more. He was throwing to. He was actually doing more check downs, which I noticed. So normally, because he wasn't really a big check down guy, like a little bit, but not really. So that could be attributed to maybe the type of backs weren't too much of receiving backs, or maybe CMC.
Which is weird because I would have always thought Shanny would have tried to incorporate more receiving backs. I've said it on here a few times. Like throughout his coaching career with the Niners, we really haven't had Hasty. They tried with Hasty. He wasn't really effective.
They tried with McKinnon though too. Remember?
Yeah,
that was the original.
That was a disaster.
They tried to get McKinnon. That didn't work out.
And he's a Super Bowl.
I can't put that on him. You can't put that on Shanny. That was
no. But that was like the original. That was the big, splash signing they had that offseason.
Yeah, but then after that, it seems like they just kind of like let that deter him from even trying again. It was kind of strange. There's scat backs out there. I'm not going to say they're easy to come by, but they, you can get a scat back just for receiving, kind of. There's some out there. It just seemed like it was never really a priority. I guess because we have so many other targets. I don't know. But I always felt like that was one of the big missing elements. And now that McCaffrey's here, you're seeing how much more explosive this offense can be, how much more reliable this offense can be, just to be able to dump it down and get that running back 5-yarder and let him take it 15, 20, 30 yards.
Which is, definitely good. So, Mr. Nayless. So at that point, like I said, we traded for McCaffrey. So what are you thinking at this point when we traded for McCaffrey?
Oh man, I mean that it's crazy because the week before the deadline, I was doing my Tuesday show with Sunil, And he was saying that he wanted McCaffrey, and I said I wanted Deron Payne at the trade deadline.
Our other co-hosts said that too. With,
Take 'em both.
Yeah. I mean, because and for me at the deadline, at that point, we didn't know if Armstead was coming back. We didn't know if Kinlaw was coming back. I'm like, we need a defensive tackle like Deron Payne. I would love to get him. But I was fine with CMC. I was like, if that's what they do, then it's great. And then when they traded for him, it was like, okay, we got a real player here. And then what you see happen is Jimmy Garoppolo, for the first time in his career, goes 3 straight games without an interception. He goes 4 straight games without an interception or without a turnover. And you're starting to see the impact of CMC. I mean, Debo's missing games. The offense is still flowing. They go from scoring 18 a game to 26. It's like, damn, this kid's a difference maker, a huge difference maker.
Sure.
Yeah. So the CMC thing, I mean, you saw it right away. I mean, it was an immediate difference.
Even in the Kansas City game, I think that he only got like 18 plays, right? He only had so many touches, but he seemed to kind of get it in, right?
And that CMC trade. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the next game was against the Rams. That's when he caught and ran for a touchdown. Debo was out. Yeah. So
I was going to
we
say
thought that was going to be for the division. Remember, we're like, this is for the division. We gotta I know it's early, but we're 3-4. We gotta win this game. Like this could be for the division. They go to LA. They don't have Debo. He passes for a touchdown. He runs for a touchdown. He catches a touchdown. It's like, damn, this kid is no joke.
Yeah, that trade had repercussions. I think if Buffalo gets him, you're seeing Buffalo in the Super Bowl right now.
I agree with
you.
So
that was like a big swing in our favor because Buffalo was really solid at that time too. I know Josh got hurt.
I thought Buffalo was going to get him,
and that would have been scary. Josh Allen with him, I think that's a Super Bowl team right there. Easy.
Yeah, I agree.
So that swung the momentum for us. I thought we'd be a Super Bowl team, but shit happens. You can't do anything when you go through 4 quarterbacks. I mean,
so that's kind of bringing me. So here we go. We got CMC. Everything seems to be rolling, like you said. Jimmy's kind of not turning the ball over, right? He's actually playing decent. Numbers going up, yards going up, points are slightly going up.
I think it was 8 points per game, not slightly. That's a touchdown.
Yeah, touchdown. And so here we go, and then here comes Miami, and then first play, boom, we're like, all right, we're gonna see what's going on. And then the second series of the game, here it goes, right? All over again. Bam, here goes Jimmy. Fuck. Right? What the hell is going on? And here we got Purdy, which I wasn't even in the preseason. I was like, I don't know, this dude's kind of whatever, Mr. Irrelevant. But I was like, ain't too much we could do. Like, season's over, right? We're screwed. So whatever. And we don't have no first round pick to look forward to because we traded it fucking away.
Yeah.
Right. So here it is.
To Miami, ironically.
Yeah, to Miami. So here we go again. So I'm watching this game. Like I said, I'm at the bar. I'm like, fuck, all right, let's see. And then it comes old fucking Mr. Irrelevant fucking making these throws. Okay, that was a pretty good throw to Kittle there. Oh, all right. Well, this kid, okay, he's scoring. Okay. What's going on here? Tied 7-7, and all of a sudden, fucking making a play here, making a play there. And I was saying to myself, I was like, Purdy might fuck around and beat the Dolphins. Sure enough, here he goes. And so we're like, all right, he beat the Dolphins. Let's see what he did. Maybe it's a fluke. Could be a fluke. Let's see what goes on. So comes Mr. Irrelevant. Here we go to where we at, the Bucks, right? I think we played the Bucks at this time. At this point, Debo came back right from the injury. So here we go, going against Brady.
Well, yeah, Debo got hurt in the Bucks game. Remember, we thought his season was going to be over.
Yeah. Oh, it looked bad, right? He was all bent, crazy, and
he was crying. Thought it was it.
Thought it was his knee, and then it was, turned out to be an ankle. So we dodged a big bullet there for sure. So we're like, all right, Debo's down. Fuck, let's go. And then, sure enough, here goes fucking Purdy. Made this throw that I don't know. Maybe Lance can make it, maybe not. But that throw to McCaffrey to the end zone, I was like, wow, okay, like this dude put it right where it had to be. Good, great, probably even better catch from McCaffrey, but still a fucking good throw from Purdy. And here we go, second win. All right, third win. Okay, fourth. All right, fucking Mr. Irrelevant. What's going on? Fifth, sixth, doom. And here he goes, fucking not even skipping a beat. If anything, okay, we got more points with Jimmy. And then Mr. Irrelevant comes in and fucking we're like at what 30, 31, 31, 30, fucking 37. We're like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Yeah.
all right. And so
Well, it
that
just
was
shows you how little effect Jimmy had on this offense, or how much of an effect he had on the offense. He hampered this offense. Let's be honest. For years, he hampered this offense. The play calling was much better when Purdy got in there. You can't dispute that.
well, no, well, you could see for sure that Shanahan seemed to be
And that's a
trusting Purdy
rookie. That's a
little more.
rookie quarterback. He trusts more than a 7-year vet. How
Yeah.
many years is Jimmy?
But he wasn't calling those plays on Lance though. In all those games that he was starting, he wasn't calling plays like that.
Because he
called a
was
little
trying
bit
to
during
make
the
him
Texans.
into Lamar Jackson, but that's
Yeah,
another
but,
story.
I mean, he was playing a little bit during the Texans, but because don't get me wrong, Lance made some good throws, and I still think to this day the best throw that Lance made was that sideline throw to Ayuk last year against Arizona.
Yeah, that was a beautiful.
And that thing was, and what I
You like to be frozen?
Yeah, we lost him.
Give him a second here.
All I
back?
know is that it ended with him saying that he likes Lance. That's what I think he was about to say.
It's a positive no for him.
Yeah. He is right though. That throw to Brandon Ayuk before half down that right sideline was against the Texans was an incredible throw. Although I don't know if that's a better throw than the Bears when it's pouring down rain and he hit I'm trying to blink on his name. Number 3 for us, kick returner.
Oh, Ray?
Yeah, Ray. When he hit
McLeod?
Ray, he threaded it over the top of the defense, going right to left. Oh my
That was
gosh!
nice.
In the rain, nonetheless. I was like, oh, dude, this kid's him right now. What are we talking about?
Yeah, Lance is I don't understand why he harps on Lance. He says he has no touch. If you just look at the sizzle reel on YouTube, look up any one, you'll see the touch he throws to the running backs out of the backfield.
Yeah.
From that alone, you can just tell he can make every throw. That's the potential I see. Now, he hasn't shown it yet, but to call him a bust like everybody does is it's so ridiculous to me. I argue with people on Instagram, on Twitter, and Facebook all day long about this. It's like a bust off of 4 games, and then I list all the guys who would be. It's all good. I list all the guys who they would consider bust: Josh Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Matthew Stafford. Peyton Manning would have been labeled a bust by their standards for Trey. Just a bunch of people like talented guys would be labeled as busts with the same criteria they give for Trey Lance, which is, I mean, it's just guys that are bitter that he took Jimmy's job, in my opinion. There's that exists. It's a lot of bitterness.
I think that does exist because you're seeing people latch on to Purdy. It's like, as long as it's not Trey, that's what you're seeing. It's like, as long as, which is funny. It's a funny stance to take, because what I see is like a bunch of people that were wrong about Jimmy Garoppolo, and they don't want to admit they were wrong about Jimmy. They just want to force it back on Lance and be like, well, see, but I was right about Trey. Look at what Purdy is. Like, that's the feeling I get from a lot of people on social media, is that,
and they were wrong about Jimmy.
They're not willing to say they were wrong about Jimmy, but they want to talk about how right they are about Trey. So they're going to force that he's a bust and then be like, we'll see, but Purdy. It's like, well, hold on. If anything, if Purdy ends up being the guy, then everybody was wrong, because you had half the people saying Jimmy, you had half the people saying Trey. If Trey never amounts to anything and Jimmy wasn't as good as Purdy, then, I mean, wasn't everybody technically wrong? Like, well, that's the way I see it.
I didn't think Purdy was worth the fuck,
I personally,
that's,
I never jumped on the Purdy train as of yet. I need to see it through another season. I mentioned a couple weeks ago, we see Nick Foles go on an incredible run through the playoffs, win a Super Bowl, and what happened to Nick Foles right after? Just went back to nowhere. I know Purdy is good. He processes things quick. He's mobile. But as I was telling my co-host for many, many weeks, Trey Lance is much more gifted, physically talented. He can do more things that Brock cannot do. So for that reason, I would have considered, well, now I don't know what we're going to get, but I would have, even had Purdy won the Super Bowl, I would consider letting them battle it out in camp. Just because Purdy has struggled on some of his deep balls. I don't think that gets enough criticism on that. The Tampa Bay game, I know he got hit and he threw that to Ayuk, but that was like a duck. There was a couple other ones against the Raiders where he threw it across his body. That was an ill-advised pass, deep pass, got picked off. There was a couple against the Cowboys where you're like, I'm not saying he's bad, and I think he has potential, but for everybody to just latch onto him and start with this, oh, he's going to be the next Montana. He had a better start than Montana. We heard this with Cap.
Definitely don't think that.
So I was of the mindset, and I still am of the mindset of pump the brakes a little bit. Let's see how he looks when teams get some tape on him, a good amount of tape through a season. And I know Womack was ready to start him, even if he lost the championship game. We didn't see this, and this Philly loss is bad for us because we were going to learn a lot about Brock Purdy in this game. It would have been the best defense he had faced. So it's kind of a bad thing for the organization because we're still gonna have some question marks. You still would have some after, but you'd have at least something big to see him in a spotlight in a big game. It would have been nice. Now we're kind of like still in limbo with our quarterbacks yet again.
Well, that's the thing though. But to answer your question, I said I switched it up saying if he got to the championship game, he should be the starter. But I changed. I was like, you know what? If he wins the championship, if he gets to the Super Bowl, I think he should probably be the starter because fucking get you to the Super Bowl, right? And I know you like to say Jay's more talented than everyone, but I just don't know like what does that mean? Because he could throw the ball further, maybe he's a little faster on the running. It means
in my opinion, it means he's more physically talented, being he's bigger, faster, stronger, has a stronger arm. But let me finish. But he has the potential to get all the intangibles that Brock Purdy has eventually, but he just needs time. So he can get better at processing the plays. He can get better at making good decisions out of the pocket. These are all things he can learn, whereas Brock Purdy cannot learn how to throw the ball deeper. He can't learn that strong arm. He can't learn to be taller. He can't learn to be stronger. He can't learn to be faster. That's my point. The ceiling is much higher on Trey, and in my mind, there's no disputing that.
Yeah, but I don't think that's talent-wise because I've seen Purdy make some throws that are just like, shit, he threw it tight windows. He's dropped it kind of like in buckets. Purdy's made a lot of plays, right? And some of which I don't think Lance could do. I think Lance could do more as far as like maybe evading rushers and not fucking spin around and do all this shit that Purdy was doing. You know what I mean? Maybe, and yeah, he could throw the ball deep. Yeah, for sure. But like, could Lance make
Bob
that?
Money, what's up, man?
Like, could Hans?
This is going to be hard for him to be the same after. And
we're gonna get to that. Yeah, we're gonna get.
We don't know. We don't know. Everybody's assuming that Brock is going to be the same, but there aren't too many NFL quarterbacks that have been through this injury in my recollection. I don't recall. I know Josh Allen just had an injury, but it wasn't a tear. It was a damaged UCL. I think Roethlisberger had one.
Nick Mullins.
But was it a complete tear? I think
Nick Mullins had the same exact surgery that Purdy's about to have.
So
okay.
And you were but I even seen your post on there, Jesse, how you were saying that I guess you posted something with the doctor saying it's gonna be a little ambitious for him to come back in 6. I don't think he's coming back in 6 months or whatever the hell.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, just it's funny. It was just funny to me because everything we heard, even out of Brock Purdy's mouth, is, oh, the way I understand it, it's 6 months. Like if I have surgery, it's blah blah blah. 6 months. Then you get to the press conference. Shanahan and Lynch say 6 months. Then all of a sudden the surgery is moved out till the end of February and it's 5 months. Like, hold on a second. Like we thought it was 6 months from surgery date. So now it's 5 months. So I go and I like find orthopedic surgeons. I find one of the top orthopedic surgeons in America. He's done over 350 of these things. And he says that this surgery average, and he does it on athletes only. He only works with athletes. On average, recovery time is 7 months from surgery date to fully ready to go. 7. Now that's average. Obviously, some people are less, some are more.
Is that mostly pitchers or is that NFL players?
Most are going to be pitchers. Most are going to, because it's a baseball injury. It's more of a baseball injury. So to be fair, a little bit different. But the point is is it seems like everybody's in line with the 6-month mark until it was reported today that he's having surgery. Oh, and he'll be back by the end of July. It's like, well, that's only 5 months. So how did we get from 6 months for the last 10 days to all of a sudden it's 5 months? How did that happen?
Yeah,
I'm not buying it. I think it's gonna be more like 9 to 12, and you'd want to be cautious because one big hit on that repaired elbow could just cause it to,
Well,
go
and
out
to
again.
be fair, Nick Mullins was fully back in 7 months, and with that same surgery.
Was he ever the same though?
Well, you've been a backup. Who knows?
Okay. To be fair, early on he was shaky. It did take him a full year before he looked like himself. So, but he was, cleared and throwing a ball and playing in preseason, 7 months after. So
it's cool. So me personally, I think this year is going to be the year where we go find out about Trey. Everything's going to get put to rest this year because even with that 7-month thing, like you said, okay, he's going to probably be back, in time, but he still got to be in football shape. Like he's going to miss OTAs. He's going to probably miss, the beginning part of training camp, maybe depending on how it goes. We don't know how he's going to respond to none of this. We don't know how his body's going to react. And you have to get yourself in game shape. And Trey's pretty much going to be starting the season. I'm just going to call it. Like I said, I think Trey's going to start the season. And you ain't going to make him compete when Trey's starting the season. So I think it'll be more or less Trey's job to lose coming up this season.
Maybe, who knows? I get the feeling, this is just me personally, I get the feeling that they would prefer to start Purdy. And if both are healthy somehow by middle of August, then I don't know if there's anything that Trey can do, even if he's lights out, looks like the clear better quarterback. I don't know if that's enough to override, what Purdy was able to do for this season. I don't know, and that's just my personal feeling.
Sorry to interrupt. I got a quick question for you. Did you find it weird that John Lynch comment about Trey getting hurt? It's like Jimmy was like hurt all the time, and you never mentioned anything to be like Trey needs to stay healthy. That was kind of like a shot to me.
Yeah, I thought it was a little strange. To me, like injury prone isn't breaking bones. He had a broken finger. He had a broken ankle. His knee injury was not a broken bone, but 2 of those came from running, which you did. You're the one that chose to run him. It's not like he was sitting in the pocket and playing quarterback and got hurt, randomly and keeps getting hurt. So I thought it was a little bit strange. Especially considering, Brock Purdy's been hurt twice in his 9-game span too. I know he didn't miss any games for the rib injury, but he was hurt and he would have missed a whole season if he had done this UCL thing a few weeks earlier. You know what I mean? So
weird. It's just weird.
It was definitely a little strange. And, I thought I also took exception with Shanahan and what he said about all the quarterbacks. Couldn't even call him by name. Oh, sorry, this guy got injured. Sorry, that guy. I was like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah, that's his MO. But I will disagree with you on they didn't say nothing to Jimmy. They said a whole lot to Jimmy's ass, and that was on during the draft when they fucking traded up to number 3 to get Trey Lance.
They said Jimmy, about him being injured.
Because that was probably
that's true. They did. They said he couldn't stay healthy, and
that was probably the only reason why they did that. They had someone in the thing. So
that was when they had already soured on him. So that's telling that they're starting to sour on him.
They were sour on him before that. I'm
talking about Trey. So that means I'm taking that as like kind of they're sour on Trey a little bit.
I mean,
at least Lynch. I can't speak for Shanny. Shanny's a weird guy.
He has Shanny is super goofy, but I mean, preseason Lynch. Fractures thing, then Arizona sprained knee, comes back. But he did play against the Texans. He did good. And then, fast forward to this season, he does all OTAs. He's at training camp, Trey spot, and just like you said, Jesse, you got his ankle broken, so you can't blame that on no one but you.
Yeah.
Right? But nonetheless,
you got fans saying that, well, it was an option play and he chose to do that. And it's like, come on, man. Why
But
are you putting him up the middle like
an
that?
option is to run. Like it's either he's handing off or he's running. You're
option is,
still
right?
putting him in a situation where he's possibly running the ball. My thing is like I don't necessarily disagree with what Lynch said. He does. I mean, he does. If he wants to be the quarterback of this team, he has to stay healthy. I completely agree with that. But don't act as if Brock Purdy's been picture perfect health in his 9 games or whatever. Like he's been hurt twice as well. So
Yeah,
you
And
need
Trey up only
both
one major
quarterbacks to be
injury,
healthy
too.
this year.
So I don't get it.
To
But
say that
I
off
would
one
say-
major injury is just kind of weird. It's strange.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think they're just looking at like the number. I think they're looking at the quantity, whether more so than the extent of them. They're just looking at like, oh well, he had a finger, and then he had the knee.
But I've
and now he's
never
got the
heard
ankle.
other GMs come and say that about their supposed future franchise quarterback this early off of one major injury. It just doesn't. It was just weird to me. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but it was just kind of strange. That's all there is to it. Like a little bit disrespectful, honestly.
Well, a little stranger is having both your quarterbacks go out in the fucking championship game. That's more stranger to me. And let's talk about that for a minute, because you got these bird brains flying. Oh yeah, look what we did. I was like, what do you like? That's probably the biggest fluke in the sport. Have putting 2 quarterbacks. I mean, this shit reminds me of any given Sunday, right? Like Cap goes out, and then here comes the backup. The backup gets injured, and then here comes Beeman. But instead of Willie Beeman, Cap comes back out into the game and has to hand off the whole fucking. Like, what do you do with that?
Well,
like,
some of that goes on Shanny again, because why are you trying to have Kittle block Reddick coming across?
Croft. I think Croft, right? Was Croft
Oh, it was
on that
Croft.
one?
There was a couple with Kittle too, though. I mean, he was doing the same thing where he's bringing these tight ends across the formation to block him one-on-one, and it's like, you don't trust McGlinchey that much, you're going to use a tight end on him, or what was going on here?
Get me started on McGlinchey ass like that. I don't even know why. What do you think about McGlinchey? I know that's another hot topic. And Kinlaw, these guys are kind of on the, what do you think is going on with their adjustment?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think McGlinchey, I don't think he's great by any means, but I don't think he's like as bad as
Pass
the highlight
blocking,
where he's getting
terrible.
rock
Run
fight up
blocking,
bottom
he's
by Parsons. You know what I mean? Like he's not that bad. He's not that guy play in and play out, but
pass blocking, he's bad.
He's not
blocking,
amazing
okay.
by any means. He's going to get paid this offseason though. Do not be shocked when he gets like a 3-year, $50 million deal somewhere.
Good.
Like he's going to get paid a lot of money. I guarantee it.
I hope it ain't.
So,
but
let's hold. I do. Let's stick with this injury thing for a second, because I actually don't. I didn't have an issue with how things turned out with the Brock Purdy injury. Brock Purdy had, and this is where his biggest area of opportunity is. And we saw Trey Lance make the leap from year 1 to year 2 in this area big time. I would expect that Brock Purdy can do the same, but he needs to step up in the pocket. And by the way, he had 3.47 seconds to throw the ball. That's a lifetime in the NFL. So he's sitting there on a 7-step drop, 10 yards back from the line of scrimmage, camping out. He hits the back foot. Ayuk gets rerouted. So then he takes a slight step back. He then hops once. If he throws the ball there, he's good. Does another little like upward movement hop, and then tries to unleash it once Ayuk is actually open. Ayuk was coming open. Like if he had thrown with a little bit more anticipation, he doesn't get hurt. Yeah. If he steps up in the pocket, he doesn't get hurt. Like I said, 3.47 seconds, that's a lifetime in the NFL. Where I took issue with it was now you're down to literally your last quarterback in Josh Johnson, and you do it again. That's when I was like, bro, you like you're literally just running your game script, not even tailoring it to the new guy that's come in. You're just acting as if Brock Purdy's still in the game, and that's not the case. You got to play this like you have Josh Johnson in the game.
Yeah.
So that's where I really took issue, was the second time around, because remember, Josh Johnson comes off the play action and he doesn't even get turned around, and Reddick's right there to sack him. It's like, well, if Brock Purdy was in the game, that probably would have happened too. Like, how many times are you going to play with fire when you just saw your quarterback got injured? Why would you do it again? And I think
why not have like a juice in the backfield over there to help out with McGlinchey or something like that,
or just change up your game plan. Like the way that I saw that whole situation was, against Seattle and Dallas, you came out and you were throwing in the first half. Okay.
Mm.
And in both those first halves, you didn't put up a lot of points. Then you use the pass to set up the run. It works out great for you. You score a ton of points. Second half against Seattle, you do a little bit better in the Dallas game. Then you come out in the NFC Championship and you have the same game plan, it seems, where you're just going to throw the ball all over the yard, use the pass to open up the run. It's like, okay, well, maybe zig now. You zagged for 2 weeks. Maybe get back to zigging. And if you're going to do what you're going to do with Hassan Reddick, who, by the way, if you watch any film, this guy doesn't bite on play action. He goes after the quarterback every single time. He's coached to do that. So he wasn't going to bite on our play actions either, unless you go to the screen game, you start running to his side, you start making him hesitate on some of those things. And then in the second quarter, I believe, okay, you've gone to the screen game to his way. You've taken advantage of his aggressiveness. You've ran right at him the way that they did it at Parsons the week before. Now you can take advantage of these play actions. You can get them guessing a little bit, and you can start to open up that pass game with those deep digs and whatever. I don't know. I thought the game plan was a little bit flawed.
Oh yeah,
or just run right at him. That's another. Which is what they should have done with Parsons right away, and they didn't. They waited till the second half, and that's when they started to break off in their run game. Getting them tired. They got them tired second half.
Yeah. Yep. That's what I was saying. They should attack the edges. Just go swing, do tosses, make them start running laterally, and then start running right at him. You don't get them tired. But you know what? I just want to say this, Jesse. I think you are partially to blame for this, because if I'm not mistaken, Jesse caused quite a stir mid-season, because he ended up putting something out that was saying he knows what's coming, right? He knows exactly what's coming.
I know where we're at.
So he put something out saying, well, Trent Williams might be tipping plays. How do you say? Well, what do you say? Whenever his back foot is lined up, it's going to be a pass. And right?
Oh, you put that up?
He put that out, mister, and he got very famous off of it because everyone was talking about this. So I'm just going to say, I blame you for that, Jesse. So
fair enough. Totally fair. I get it. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I had to.
I will say I thought it was hilarious that Grant doubled down and posted the still of that play and was like, well, Trent Williams is tipping pass here, so no shocker that Brock Purdy got injured. I was like, bro, only you have the balls to do that in this moment. It's hilarious.
That's what it is, yeah. And I'm piggybacking off of Grant because I didn't know Grant said that actually, but we're on the same page, so good. We think alike. Now you know what you're getting into. You get on it next time. So so here we are, end of the season. I'm still bitter. Like I said, I'm still fighting with these fucking bird brains.
Hold on, let's talk a little more about this Philly game because I wanted to get to this because we missed it.
We still haven't talked about it. So
the Shanny. I mean, you probably talked about it already. The Shanny not calling of the, the challenge. That was a little bit. Kyle Shanahan, I don't know, man. I just don't know because he's great. Maybe he's just a better coordinator than he is a coach. Let's put it out there. A guy on the couch can see if a receiver's running up to the line on a fourth down play. What does that tell you?
Yeah, he's doing that.
What does that tell the guy on the couch? So an NFL level coach who's supposedly a genius is going to be like, well, we didn't have a good look at it. I mean, that's a lame ass excuse, in my opinion. Somebody on that sideline had to see something and be like, I don't think he caught that. And if not, just the motion of him running up to the line like that. And that play, I know it's only one play, but it changed the whole outcome of the game. Because if we're not down 7, maybe we do come out running the ball more, not feeling pressed to get some quick points on the board. Purdy might not get hurt. I know it's a game of
or just natural. I mean, naturally, like you change the game by 1 second, everything changes. The spot on the field, even. They're going to run the same plays likely because it's scripted that way, but it doesn't mean the result is the same. I mean, it's a whole everything. The whole universe is shifted, right? Like everything's going to play out different from there. So,
and it's and stopping them on their fourth down, maybe that even gives them more confidence to be like, oh, these guys like going for a fourth down. We could stop them, So maybe it gives them a little boost of try going in on fourth down. You know what I mean? And so now they converting and so they converted a lot of force. So now they're like, shit. Like, see, how we
But
can
do you
get out
feel
of
like
this one?
do you feel Kyle's getting enough blame on that, or you think like the level is right at where it should be?
I mean, here's the thing is like hindsight's 2020 as far as knowing that it was a drop, right? But there's two key things, and this is where it gets frustrating. Is you're right. He's running the line going like this, like, hey, we gotta hurry. And then it comes out that Hufanga was telling Shanahan challenge. That was
Wow, I
not a
didn't know
catch.
about that.
So Hufanga's telling him to challenge.
Yeah.
And then my thought is this: even if you're not sure, which he came out and said, well, we obviously didn't have enough time to challenge or whatever. I almost did, and I thought about it. It's like, well, just pull the trigger and do it. But even then, you just started off the NFC Championship. You, on a 4th and 3, gave up a huge play. Your defense is now back against the goal line against the number 1 red zone team in the league at home in the biggest game of the season. Womack, I saw you say it. Call a timeout and give your defense a second to breathe, and maybe they can hold to a field goal there. Well, obviously, we know if they call a timeout, they then see the real replay. It gets challenged, it gets overturned, and everything changes. But even if it was a catch, in let's say in an alternate universe that was a catch, there was nothing to challenge, I still think the right call would be to call a timeout. So you had 3 options. You could challenge, you could call a timeout, or you could do nothing. There was only one wrong answer, and he chose wrong. So, that's definitely a frustrating play for sure.
And we've seen him challenge stuff that's way like less
Way more
momentum,
ancillary.
way less like is going to have way less of an effect on the game. He'll challenge some weird, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's hard to bash him because he did do such a great job with the 13 quarterback this year, but man, I'm becoming of the mindset that he is a better coordinator because he does call plays. You get wide open receivers, wide open tight ends, wide open skill players often, but time management is an issue with him. It has been for a while. He just seems like he doesn't understand momentum in games and situational football at times. I don't know. No coach is perfect. I know that, but he just does some weird stuff, man. I mean, that's how I can describe it.
At the worst possible
At the
times.
worst
And
time, yeah.
he's so good at so many things. He's a phenomenal play designer, top 2 in the league, probably him and Andy Reid. He is arguably the best in the league when it comes to development. I mean, I would say probably him and Pete Carroll do the best job at developing. You get so many players that are late round draft picks that contribute on this team, coaches that move on and become head coaches. He's great at that. But he has his flaws, and people are willing to stand up for him and think that just because he's really good at one thing, that he's great at everything, and you can't criticize him. It's like he has so much on his plate as the head coach where I understand it. Like, you're the head coach, you're also calling plays. It's a lot. So at least have a guy that that you can trust that is willing to check you in those moments and be like, Kyle, we need to call a timeout here.
Yes, I've been saying this for years. Yes,
we need to challenge this.
Get this guy on the
Kyle,
show more often.
Don't call that. Like, not now. We need to run the ball here. Like with 7 minutes left, these many timeouts, like, it's time to run the ball. So just somebody to check him and make sure he's on point. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think everybody,
even an
who
old
is a
defensive
play
guy,
caller and a
even
head
an
coach
old
could use
defensive
that
guy.
guy.
Yeah, well,
So
he's a
Wilkes
dictator.
is a good hire. Wilkes
This
is
is
a good hire.
dictatorship. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's get you there.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? I think that was good. I just
loved
don't like
it.
this.
Great.
Yeah,
Loved it.
just the single high shit. I think we need to get rid of the single high shit because I don't think we got players that with enough range. I retweeted this. Like, we don't have the players that could, cover that whole field on that single high. I just
We
don't
gave
think
up
we do.
the most 50-yard plus pass plays in the league. That was one thing I did not like about D'Amico. Too many busted plays, too many big plays were given up. Great against the run, great stout against the run. Intermediate pass game, but the deep plays were They were alarming. And if you had gone against a Chiefs offense in the Super Bowl, say we make it that far, I think it could have been a problem with
Yeah.
Mahomes back there. I think
Yeah.
we may have been picked apart again.
Probably.
So,
Probably.
I mean,
I
me and
think
Womack
Wilkes is a
debated.
great
Go
hire.
ahead. Yeah.
No, I think Wilkes is a great hire.
Mhm.
His specialty is the secondary, so that's huge.
Yeah, very good.
Schematic wise, he's going to match up perfect. He's a zone guy, a 4-3 guy. So I think it's going to be great. You know, I reached out to some Panther content creators as soon as there was rumors that he could be the guy. They had nothing but amazing things to say about him. And I think you look at the flow of defensive coordinators that have been here, from Saleh to D'Amico and now Wilkes.
Mhm.
All three of them have a similar MO about them and their personalities, and that they galvanize the troops. They are players, coaches, and I think just keeping that consistency will be great for the team.
I got Womack's take on this, but let me get yours real quick. Who you taking, Salah or Ryans, if you had a choice?
D'Amico Ryans, not close.
You would? I would go Salah. I think I'd go
Yeah.
Salah.
Wait, are you talking head coach or are you talking coordinator? What are you talking?
Coordinator.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
saying
yeah,
like to come
D'Amico.
back here and take over this squad. If you had a choice out of the two, you'd go D'Amico.
D'Amico, yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't, just because of the big plays. I don't think you got as many breakdowns in Salah's offense. I know you had the Miami game where
But Salah never
That was
adjusted though. That
atrocious,
was the thing with me with Salah. He never really adjusted. He just
but they
kinda
never gave up as many big plays. Not as many breakdowns. There was a lot of breakdowns this season. The Bears game alone was like 4 breakdowns, four busted plays.
Yeah, that was
Um,
also
week
Greenlaw
one,
being
though.
a nut job in that game.
yeah, but I don't know.
But
Yeah.
Greenlaw's a little concerning with these penalties. Now that you mentioned Greenlaw,
Yeah, so here's what we have to remember about Greenlaw. He was a rookie the first year, or that year that Quan Alexander was here. Okay. So if you look at the way that Quan Alexander plays and carries himself, he is very boisterous on the field. He's always amped up. He's always playing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. That's how Quan Alexander is. I think Greenlaw got a lot of his
Pick up
play
that habit,
type
Mojo.
and habits from that.
Mhm.
And Quan was good at controlling it. Like, he played within the structure and didn't get a lot of penalties. Now, he would miss a lot of tackles because of it,
Missed a
but he
lot of
wasn't a
tackles.
penalty guy.
Mhm.
Greenlaw also misses a lot of tackles, but he also gets some dumb penalties at the worst time. I feel like he took that personality trait from Quan, and he doesn't know how to implement it because that's not necessarily who he is.
I didn't even think about that. You know, that's funny. Thanks
That's
for
a good
We
point.
do gotta
That's
have
a
you
good
on more
point.
often, Jesse. Shit, what is that? Maybe I should need to stop trolling you now. That's yeah, but yeah, I didn't even think about that, and that's pretty big. Yeah, picked up bad habits from his older badass cousin, right? And that's all.
Basically,
That's all I did.
that's basically it. Yeah.
Some of these penalties have been just ridiculous, though. It's like, come
Yeah.
on, Greenlaw.
Him punching at the ball, like, I get it, one punching at the ball, but this dude is.
I didn't have a
fucking
problem with
throwing-
that one too much.
I
It
didn't
was the
either.
other ones.
It was at the end of the game. It wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, it was at the end of the game. It was 28-7 at that point.
It was within the rules. He was just punching. I mean,
Well, kind of. He
It's
got
not
fined
illegal.
for it, but
I mean, not illegal,
But he gets
That's pretty-
face masks at the weirdest times and roughing the it's
late
just
hits.
weird stuff. The one against Chicago, that was actually the backbreaker there, because that whole sequence was like, okay, they would have had the stop. Chicago would have still not scored. They would have been punting the ball. So then Greenlaw gets the penalty. That extends the drive. Very next play, Fields throws it directly at Gibson right in the chest, bounces off his chest. Then the next play is when you had the broken play in Pettis for a touchdown.
God,
It's
damn
like that
Pettis.
sequence of plays right there was the biggest backbreaker. in
And it
that
had to
game.
be Dante Pettis of all people.
Of course, the cat man.
why not? Yeah.
Cat boy.
Yeah.
That's like-
That dude's. And I don't
So
think was that.
weird.
How many touchdowns? What, he only had like 3 touchdowns this year? I think that was probably his longest one, right?
Did he have
Probably.
3 even? He had 3?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'd say 2 maybe.
might
I know he had
Only one.
one, and that was the worst one ever.
that was the one that was like, what the hell? We let this guy wide open. Oh Jesus, that's hilarious. So yeah, so I'm still, like I said, I'll feel better when the Chiefs beat the fucking Eagles ass this Sunday. Like I'm like, okay,
I'm going for the Chiefs too. I
yeah, I'm
have to.
I don't care. I hit them both.
Yeah,
No, I agree, but
Well, let's get into that then. So so we got Super Bowl coming up. So what are your thoughts on this? Are you gonna watch it? Are you not? I mean,
I mean, I'll watch. It's the Super Bowl. Like I'll watch it. I mean, I won't be like glued to the television by any means. If like my kid wants to do something, I'll probably do that easily, you know.
For
But
sure.
I'll definitely watch it for sure. I think it's a good matchup. I mean, it's you got the Kelsey brothers against each other. You got Andy Reid going against his former team. There's some intriguing storylines for sure. And I think just stylistically, it's a good game. I know that we feel like we didn't get a fair shot against the Eagles, but I wouldn't have been shocked if the Eagles had beaten us straight up anyways. I think they're a really, really good team. They have a lot of very, very good players on that roster. And then you've got the genius over there and Andy Reid paired up with Mahomes, who's now 2 more weeks removed from that high ankle sprain. I think he's going to look a lot better. It sounds like some of the players that were hurt in that AFC Championship game should play as well. So I think this will be a good game. I think it'll be a really, really good game. I think just as a football fan, this would be one that I would be really excited about if the 49ers hadn't lost just a week ago. So
yeah, exactly. Just do that.
Leo says rumor had Niners or Eagles week 1 Thursday Night Football.
Yeah,
I know it makes total sense.
I need to know your sources.
Yeah.
It does make sense. They are on the schedule. It is in Philly that we do know. But usually you take like a repeat of the AFC or NFC championship, you know, or Super Bowl if you can, and you throw that on opening night and you get it going. So I would not be shocked if it's San Francisco rolling into the link Thursday Night Football to open the season. Yeah, I won't be shocked.
I hope so. I hope so much. Yeah. So screw that.
What about you, Mike? What are you thinking about this Super Bowl?
Oh no, I hope the Chiefs stick an arrow up their ass. That's what I hope. Like, I'm trying to, put them on the grill after and have some. No, what do you want? You want the leg?
I know
of the
you're
wing?
hoping, but what do you think is going to happen?
No,
what do you think is going to happen?
I think, look, they're going to face a quarterback who could actually throw. That's not a Giants. That's not us. Someone who the offense, like you alluded to, Jesse, that you got another mastermind over there. Someone who knows how to, scheme against good defenses. I mean, shit, look what he did against us. I mean, this year, even though we were 9 dudes down, but even in the Super Bowl, we held for a little bit, but when the floodgates broke on that game, I mean, you can see nothing we can really do. I don't know. I think the Eagles are going to have a hard time if they nullify that pass rush. So I just see them do a lot of quick stuff, kind of like what they did against us. A lot of quick hitters. Get the ball out of Mahomes' hands. And because of that injury, he will be better. I don't know how mobile he'll be, but he'll move around a lot more than what he has been doing, right? So, and above all, Eagles have problems with tight ends, and I don't know how many problems you could have. You got Kelsey over there; that's probably the biggest tight end problem you've ever faced. So
it's true.
I don't know. I think was it Pacheco? Pacheco's a good runner. The run D is still suspect. Pacheco's not that bad, and then got McKinnon.
McKinnon's been playing all right.
Yeah, doing his thing. So I think the Eagles defensively got their hands full too.
It's gonna be a good one. I'm with Leo though. He says I'm rooting for my Super Bowl squares. I agree.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's our other co-host. He can't be here, but he's in there, making his presence.
He's sniping.
Sure. He's sniping. That's what
he's the sniper.
He's the sniper. Yeah. So, like I said,
I think. Go ahead.
No, defensively, Eagles got their hands full. Offensively, against that might be the equalizer on that side, but Chiefs are sneaky on that defensive side, though. They don't really look like much. Like on
they do just enough. It seems.
Yeah, they do.
That's
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So they, Chris Jones could probably bust loose. We'll see against that best O-line in history, according to these.
Him versus Kelsey is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. So I don't know. And then Frank Clark might do something. Got your Nips boy Nick Bolton over there to do things. So I mean, I don't know. It's a good matchup. Like I said, I think the Chiefs kind of pull out of it though. Maybe by a touchdown, field goal, something like that. It's gonna be close, but I think.
I agree. I think that Mahomes is pretty cerebral back there. like you mentioned, Kelsey's going to be an issue. Everybody talks about the Eagles' front four, but their linebackers are pretty mediocre. They talk about their top two corners, which are good, but you don't think Andy Reid's going to try to exploit the third and fourth corners? I mean, he's a Andy Reid is I would say he's an offensive genius. I'd say he's one of the few out there. So I think he's going to have a good game plan. Like you said, he's going to stick with the run, implement some run. You got McKinnon out of the backfield. You're going to see some shovel passes, probably a couple little, semi trick plays, gadgety type of things. But Mahomes has already shown now he can beat you in many fashions. It's not just Tyreek deep passes anymore. It's underneath. It's like he's a prime Aaron Rodgers, but he can do a little bit more. Honestly, he can do. He's like almost a hybrid of Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Honestly, with a lot of a little bit more agility and the dude is a magician. Like I hate the fact that he beat us in the Super Bowl, but man, this guy, I just can't hate on him because, and he gutted it out with that high ankle sprain in that Cincinnati game. He's a beast, and I just think he's going to will that team to a win. Look for Kelsey to have a big game. Look for the running backs, Pacheco, like you mentioned, to have some big games. Big game, draw plays. I think he's going to do what Kyle Shanahan and you heard Ayuk this week talk about. They had a nice game plan, but we never got to see it. I think you will see it with the Chiefs doing some of the similar stuff of what we were going to do, maybe some draws, some screens. Use their strength against them. Andy Reid is a very experienced coach. He's been to how many championship games? Like 7, 8, 9, something like that. 8 or 9.
7.
Yeah, he's been through many, right? He had 4 with the Eagles, I think.
Yeah, and five with the Chiefs. Yeah, 9
championship games,
9.
2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
This will be his 3rd Super Bowl. He did take
This
the
will
L
be his
against
4th Super Bowl
Four.
because he went with the Eagles. Remember they lost with T.O. on the one leg.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now they did struggle against the Buccaneers, but they were on like third string offensive tackles. Mahomes was a little dinged up in that game too, I think still. So I'm not going to hold that one too much against them. I just feel like I don't think Sirianni is that great of a coach. I think he's a little bit arrogant. Maybe I'm just bitter, but I probably am bitter. But they do have a strong O-line, strong D-line. But I like Spagnuolo as a DC too, so I think he's going to be able to implement some things to get some pressure on Jalen Hurts. Maybe make him throw it more than he wants to. You've seen he was able to do that to Brady twice when he was with the Giants. He was able to get pressure on Brady, take the things he liked to do away. So I feel like he's a very aggressive coach at times, but he does make some good adjustments. So I just think the Chiefs are going to get it done on Sunday. Like you guys are saying, probably a 7-point game. Maybe 4, maybe 31-27. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. We've seen a lot of low scoring games this playoffs, but I think this one may go over the spread. So I'd say KC over. Spread is what, like I think it's like Eagles -1 or 2, something like that.
I think they're 2,
It's
2.5, right? I think it's like 2.5.
What is it?
I think it's like 2.5. I think.
Yeah, it's
a lot of people are taking the Eagles in a blowout, and I just don't see that, especially because they're a running team. I think the Chiefs are going to load up a little bit on that run, and especially after they've seen how we played against the Eagles defensively. I mean, I know we gave up 31, but there's more to the story than that. I thought our defense did okay overall considering the circumstances.
I mean, how we contained Hurts, I think, is we laid out the blueprint there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I think you'll see the Chiefs defense and coaches expand on that blueprint, and try to take away AJ Brown, make it be Devontae Smith. They do got Dallas Goedert, who's a nice weapon as well, but their running backs are nothing to write home about. You got Miles Sanders. I know he had a big game against us, but Kinlaw was decided to disappear for most of that game. So I'll take the Chiefs. Close game,
Jesse?
good game, entertaining game. Get your Wingstop, get your popcorn.
Man, dude, this one could go either way. I'll go 31-27 Eagles.
Oh, did
Oh, you're
you?
going opposite. We're
Oh.
opposite tonight. Okay.
Well,
but it could be. I mean, I won't be shocked either way. I think this is just going to be, like I said, as a football fan, if you just remove your 49er fandom, I think this will be a really, really good game to watch.
Let's hope the refs stay out of this one because we've had some
For
terrible
sure.
referee.
Yeah,
Let's just let them play a little bit.
I agree.
We didn't get to touch on that, but the Niner game the refereeing was terrible. I'm not gonna say it was like a fix or anything, but there were some questionable calls. There was a couple legit calls, but there was some questionable. If he gets pushed into the punter, that's not a penalty, right? Shouldn't be.
No, there was a lot. The thing is like, this is not a game where you can be like, oh man, we got screwed by the refs, because we weren't going to win once. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're focused on the quarterback thing, but yes, I think it was a really poorly officiated game. I think Lane Johnson was false starting, 50%.
A lot of holds on that.
It wasn't
a lot of holes on
starting
that Philly
according
D
to-
that didn't seem to get called. You're
Yeah,
telling me
there
they went
was
the
a
whole
lot
game
of weird stuff going on.
without an offensive holding call?
Yeah,
That's
four
kinda
four
weird.
penalties the whole game.
Or did they have one?
Yeah.
They might have had one offensive holding call. I don't think they did though.
I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
like you said, we can't complain about the refs on that one, but it was just
I
like,
can complain.
come on, man, you're piling it on us a little bit. We're already on our fourth string quarterback.
Yeah,
the refs
yeah.
are not
Can we
even gonna
fill
let
out a
us,
little
like,
bit?
they're not even gonna let us sniff like hanging in the game. They're just gonna be like, let's kind of let Philly
Yeah.
just blow the doors off this one.
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
that's just it. Like, I know, like, people like to jump. I love a good conspiracy theory. Don't get me wrong, but like, if the league was fixed, don't you think they would want that game to be close so people actually stuck around and watched? I mean, unless you're an Eagles or a Niners fan, of course we watched it begrudgingly, but every other fan, I mean, they were tuned out. 5 minutes into the third quarter, once the Josh Johnson was out, it's like nobody was sticking around and watching that game. Everybody knew it was about to happen. So, like, that's where I come in. I'm like, listen, like I said, I love a good conspiracy theory, but you would think they would keep eyes on the television the best way possible and make that game a nail biter, right? And like, they wouldn't have turned it into a 31-7 game, not if it's fixed.
Well, what did Armstead, the one that say, it's almost like when the quarterback went out, they just made it so where the Eagles just give it to the Eagles, right? So
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I guess you could go that route.
Or maybe it wasn't in the script. Maybe, I don't know. Possibly wasn't in the script.
Those are
stick to
funny.
this.
Those are funny.
Those are hilarious. Those memes, I've been rolling on those fucking things.
Look, as crazy as that sounds, I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if that really did go down, because I'm a conspiracy guy. So.
I wouldn't say a script, but I could see. I don't know. I mean, we're not going to go down that. Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Point shaving, yeah, sure.
Let's not act like the mafias don't exist in the world.
Yeah. I mean, let's not act like it didn't actually happen in the NBA.
They write you didn't know Mafia got
Donahue.
writers? They got Academy Award writers. They write scripts all the time. You know that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't think it's wrestling per se, but I could see some sketchy fellows point shaving for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But all right, good. Well, I'm tapped out of this season. So quick a slight glimpse. I don't want to get too into it because I know you guys are going to start getting into the off season, stuff like that. What do you think is going to go on?
He's gonna I think he's gonna get out of here. Yeah.
Are
it's all
you
good.
getting out?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can do one more topic. I just gotta be
no.
out of here in like five minutes or so. So
No. I was just gonna say, what do you think what do you think's going on with the off season? What do you see us doing? What do you think we should do? What's quarterback wise, team wise? I mean, draft wise, even. I mean, I don't know. Do you think got holes?
Yeah, I mean, I think the 49ers are in an interesting situation right now. They're just over $8 million in cap. There's definitely ways to save money. I think reworking the CMC deal is going to give them another 7 or so. They can continue to push back money on guys like Armstead and Kittle, which I don't know if I want to go that route, but if they can free up money that way. They can get upwards back near, 25, 30 million in cap, but there's a lot of not only potential starters that are going to be free agents, but guys that have contributed. Like, this is going to be, I think, a very different team going into next year. Maybe they'll surprise us. And I remember 2 years ago, we thought the team would look very different, and they ended up signing everybody somehow. Tart came back on a team friendly deal, and so did everybody else. But I just don't see that this year. I mean, the money's out there for the NFL. I think Mike McGlinchey's going to get paid somewhere, maybe here, but most likely somewhere else. I think with D'Amico going to the Texans and having $37 million over there, you're going to see guys
Jimmy
like
Ward
maybe
is going to be gone.
Ward, Aziz, Emmanuel Mosley, who we thought we'd get for pretty cheap coming off the injury, likely might get paid by a team
over there, coming off the ACL.
We'll see, man.
They got the money.
Because Diablo's kind of stepped up, right?
He has.
The boy Lombardi said something about that. He was like, "Well, the quarterback situation looks a little solid, but I mean,
it is. But it would be nice to have Mosley back."
Oh yeah, I thought they were. Look, I thought the secondary was before he got injured. I was like, "Dude, this secondary is nothing to play with." Like,
I thought it was the best since 1994 is what I said preseason.
Yeah, for sure.
I think a starter is going to get traded. I think it might be a little bit of a surprise, but you got to clear up some cap room and you got to get some draft capital early on. We have so many holes. Well, I mean, not so many, but we do have some holes. We have offensive. We need an offensive tackle to replace McGlinchey. You might need another center. Corners. You're going to need corners for sure. I'd like to get a rangy, taller safety to match up with some of these bigger tight ends. That was a problem against the Raiders in that game. We couldn't match up with Waller and Moreau. I think you're going to see that more. The bigger tight ends giving us problems. So I'd like to see us get a taller guy back there. Jimmy Ward's going to be gone. Keep Gibson around, but bring somebody on he can groom to take his role.
He might retire though. Gibson's retirement.
He's old, man. Shit. But yeah, definitely.
We'll see. I mean, the thing is that for the most part, the Niners actually do draft pretty well, and they got a ton of picks.
Not early on, though.
That's a lot of picks.
Mid round we draft really well, but early on.
That's what I'm saying though. But you look at the picks that they got, round 3, round 5. Like those are the money rounds for the Niners.
That's what I'm saying. For sure, we did.
Yeah. What do we got? 4? We got 4 thirds?
Rounders, first rounders. We got more busts.
We got 3 or 4 thirds. How many thirds do we got?
I think with D'Amico we're getting a 4th. I could be wrong about that, but I think we might have 4 third rounders.
4. I think was it 3 or 4? Because I know 2 because Rand Carthen when he
went. Yeah, it was. I think it was 3, but I don't remember if that was before or after the D'Amico trade. I don't know. I mean, signing.
I don't know if there's another coach that kind of went, but
if we were to trade Armstead, would we save any cash?
Let's pull it up real quick.
Because I'd like to trade. I've never been an Armstead guy. He's not terrible, but he kind of disappears a lot. But I would trade him, and I'm thinking maybe Deron Payne. If he save enough money.
Well, we need someone to get
Deron Payne.
We need somebody in that middle. Definitely, that's a big need. Is somebody in that middle that can stuff it up.
Yeah, we're not. No. Unfortunately, if we trade him post June, we save $16 million. But most trades are going to go down prior to, and that's only $2 million.
Yeah, that's not going to help.
In fact,
trade him after June.
49.
Because I could see him going to a Sala or a D'Amico, maybe for like a third.
We're just in contracts.
Here we go. Let's go trade pre-June.
So 1, 2, 3. We got 3 thirds, so we will have a 4th probably.
Yeah, there you go. Is
that there's not really anybody that if we trade pre-June is going to free up any kind of money. I mean, other than Nick Bosa at $18 million, but we're not trading him.
No. Kinlaw, I think Kinlaw eats up some if we trade him, right? Kinlaw.
No, he's getting. We don't have to do anything to him. He's just off.
He's on a guarantee this year.
Oh, is he?
You think we pick up Ayuk's 5th-year option? I would think we pick up Ayuk's.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure they do. For sure.
Nobody's going to trade for Kinlaw anyway. Be shocked.
Yeah, I mean, trading post-June is where we start saving money on people, but I just don't. Like I said, most trades are going to happen before then. So they really aren't in a position to free up a ton by trading anybody.
We don't have a lot of space either, a lot of cap. So
they don't. Yeah, they don't.
Something like that, 13, some goofy number like that.
Yeah, I mean, we got. Damn. Right now, we're sitting at just over $8 million in cap.
Oh,
so not a lot. Not a lot.
And that's where. Go ahead.
Well, here's where you can save money, and we'll see what they do. But so restructuring Trent Williams gives you $13 million. Eric Armstead $11 million. Fred Warner $8 million. George Kittle $8 million. Travarius Ward 9, McCaffrey 7. So that's where the money's going to come in is kind of kicking the can down the road with some of these guys.
Look, if screw that, if I'm Jed, if I really believe in this team like that, I just pay them base like 2 or 3, and I give everyone just signing bonuses. I come out of my own pocket and just.
Well, come on, we know
like
that
him.
Jed don't do that. He's not Eddie D. We know
that
that.
ain't happening.
But still, like, I mean, come on, dude. Like, Jed, come on, man. Stop being cheap,
but then you end up with the problem like with D Ford when they're off the team and you're still paying them because the signing bonus is what you've kicked down the road. You know what I mean?
Well, if you got a ring or two, I mean, fuck, what does it matter? If we get 7 by that time, who knows?
Big Leo says Parag gonna make some magic happen. About to make some magic happen.
Yeah, maybe.
Parag. Yeah.
Parag.
Yeah.
It's our. What do you say? It's our prerogative to.
No doubt.
Cool. Well,
all right, fellas. Listen, I got to get out of here. I appreciate you having me on. Definitely enjoyed it.
I appreciate you coming.
Tell Grant to come on too.
It was good.
Tell Grant to come on. We have some we agree with Grant on some things.
Yeah, invite him on. Grant usually is not.
He ignores us.
He doesn't say no to people.
He ignores us.
Does he?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, well,
have you DM'd him or no?
I think I DM'd him asking him to come on once, maybe.
Yeah, DM him again.
We're assholes, though. I mean, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, DM him again. Who cares? He'll probably say yes.
Well, thanks for coming on. And Jesse is a man of his word. He says he does come on and support the Little Guy podcast, which he does. He's here right now. He will be slightly talking shit to him on Twitter, but I don't really talk to him. I just kind of.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
I get goofy, but nah.
I appreciate y'all. You have a blessed night, and we'll do it again soon. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Man. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Later, guys.
All right, have a good one. There you go.
That was
cool.
good. That was great.
Like
that was golden.
Jesse's,
I would say that's golden.
Jesse's fucking awesome. What do you mean?
Much better than talking to your asshole this fucking time.
Oh yeah, well, I agree with that too. I wouldn't want to talk to me either. So
anyway, what else we got? What else we got on the agenda?
I don't know. That was a good one. I enjoyed that. Yeah, what else we got? Come on, you run this shit, right? I run it. You run it. Run this shit, bitch.
Yeah, you were running points tonight, I thought.
No.
Jordan Poole.
There you go.
What else do we got? I don't know. I didn't even put anything in. I didn't know if we were gonna. I didn't know if we were gonna be able to get to anything else because we were kind of going there for a while. So
yeah. No.
We could just touch on. We want to touch on. We already did Super Bowl.
Touch
on the Warriors.
What's going on? So Williams talking about what Warriors are blowing it, huh? What's going on with them? What is going on with these guys? Let's see. What are they doing, William?
Yeah, Warriors. I don't know. Are they going to make any trades? I don't think
114 to 119. Oh my goodness! And Wiggins giving up fouls. Oh yeah, they. What? So what are we at right now? Are we 8 right now, or are we 7? What are we at right now? Seed wise,
I believe we're
like 7, right?
7 or 8, somewhere in there. I don't think we're going to make any trades. I think we're going to be more active on the buyout after the trade deadline passes. You'll probably pick up somebody. I don't know who, but we'll probably pick up somebody. Did I see that I don't know if it was true, but before we started the show, I was kind of looking and did the Lakers trade Westbrook today? Or is that like some fake shit?
I don't know.
I thought the Lakers had made a trade.
Lakers did anything.
No? I've probably seen some bullshit then. No trades?
Yeah, we didn't even get to Montana.
Oh, yeah. See, they did. 3-team trade. Lakers got D'Angelo Russell.
Oh, yeah, D'Lo. That's right. They got D'Lo back.
Yeah, they traded Westbrook. Timberwolves will receive Mike Conley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Jazz will receive Russell Westbrook, Juan Toscano-Anderson, Damian Jones. Let's hope that they buy out Juan Toscano-Anderson. Let's hope they do.
Bring him back. So he's off our books.
He'd be good for us. We need some defense. He could play some D. He's a hustler. He's a well-rounded, kind of a energy type of guy, energy type of player, Energizer Bunny. We'll put it in Discord. Right on, man. I haven't checked Discord. I gotta check it out. Yeah, and people join the Discord if you haven't already.
Well,
trying to get this Discord popping.
Put it on. I still don't understand how none of this shit works. Maybe I'll do a YouTube tutorial or some shit.
You don't know how what works? Discord?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like our own little chat rooms, basically. Yeah. Okay, we'll post it in the Discord. You could find it on our IG link tree. Has all of our content on there. You don't know how to post in there? No wonder you never post. I was like, why is Womack not posting in the fucking Discord?
I gotta watch a tutorial. Don't worry. I'm on YouTube enough. I'll find out.
What do you think Warriors' chances are this year with the current roster? Because I don't think we're gonna get any big names. We're not gonna make any KD trades.
I don't know.
You think we're a threat in the playoffs?
Not at this point. I don't think. I think we probably go out second round. I think we'll do a well, I think we'll pull a fucking what the hell's pull a Memphis. Go out.
Yeah.
But at least we won one. So I don't see us doing really too much this year. I'm not as confident as I was at least last year. Because we were on a roll and shit. We were doing it. This year we've kind of been the same. Like we haven't really changed. We haven't really got better. The only thing that has happened was fucking Clay seems to have finally gotten back in the Clay groove. Other than that, I don't know. Wiseman sucks. I don't know.
Pool was a mistake. I said it. I said it.
Yeah.
And now they come. But I'm used to it. Everybody talks all this shit, and then they come around and be like, "Oh yeah, Poole is playing kind of lummy." Yeah, Leo, I'm talking to you directly. E Major, both of y'all. They was on Poole's pool stick for a while.
Yeah, Poole was a letdown for sure. I mean, I wasn't really. I was kind of like whatever.
No, I seen this coming, dude. Like he had a great series against who was it? Denver, with both of their starting guards out, and I said it on the show at the time, and it was like okay, but then he kind of just disappeared for the rest of the playoffs. As soon as the physical play started in Memphis, he was nowhere to really be found. Boston, same thing. He's too inconsistent to be paid what we paid him. Leo says Poole I don't know. I don't think he's going to get any better defensively. He hasn't shown any improvement defensively as of yet. I think, like I said, I had him comped as like a Monte Ellis type of player, and I haven't seen anything that's going to dissuade that as of yet. I mean, he can score. Yeah, everybody says he can score, but the IQ is not there. The basketball IQ is not there. Very questionable plays, turnovers. The offense gets stale with him out there. He doesn't seem to like physical play. So, I mean, he could improve. I'm not going to say he won't, but I haven't seen anything to show that he's going to get more consistent or develop any defensive skill.
I mean, he might get better next year because it seems like everyone, no matter what sport it is, once that first year that you get that fucking bag, your play always falls off. Like, I don't know what the fuck it is about people getting paid
always.
And slacking. Yeah, well, who's got better after they got paid?
A lot of people. Mahomes.
Who
else?
What do you
Brady got paid.
He got paid after the Super Bowl?
Plenty of people that got paid. Your point's invalid. I mean, there has been some guys that just Albert Hainsworth. Let's bring up that one that comes to mind. He just fell off the face of the earth. Antonio Langham for us. That was a bust and a half.
Fuck, you reaching way back, huh? Gabe Wilkins. Should we go there?
Warriors need to get defensive assistant coach. Mike Brown was that guy. I think it's the personnel. And when you have Poole on the court, your defense goes to shit. I said that last year when he's out there. When people were talking about run the Steph, Clay, Poole, I was like, that's not going to work. You're going to give up 130 points every night, and Poole's just not that dude defensively.
Yeah, and you can't really teach that. You could teach it, and maybe, but I don't know. I should have said the first time getting the bag. Should have said.
Yeah. No, I think Poole, I don't know. I don't know. I never liked his demeanor. I don't like his demeanor. I don't like, he just seems like he never really fit the offense. He's just like he likes that hero ball. High turnover ratio, turns it over a lot. Just, to get the points on the board. Yeah, the stat sheet's gonna look good, but your plus minus is not that great. And what good is it if you're scoring 2 points and you're just giving up 2 points on the other end? It's just gonna be a wash. Guys, Celtics were attacking him at times in the finals. And everybody was like, "Oh yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. You're a hater." But I'm like, "Nah, man. I just call it how I see it." And I didn't see the basketball IQ or the defensive presence from Poole. So it's not all on just Poole. Wiseman hasn't been a factor at all. Moody. Now I don't know if that's because of coaching or if they're just not showing out in practice enough. But some guys are just gamers, and we've seen that Moody can contribute in this offense, and he's not as bad as Poole defensively. He's decent defensively. So I mean, let him get a little bit of run, Kerr. I mean, what's the worst that could happen at this point? Is he just in the doghouse? Is he having a Shanahan moment where he's putting Drake Jackson in the doghouse? I wish we would have asked Jesse about that too. Should have asked Jesse about Drake Jackson and not playing. What a good question.
Probably said the same shit we did, like fucking tripping, like I don't know. But
defense and turnovers need to improve, no doubt about it.
Well, but that's every year the fucking turnovers. We always lead the league, at least in the top 5 every fucking year in the turnovers. So that's nothing new.
Wiggins
defensively,
has reverted back to pre-championship Wiggins. I guess you could say last playoff run Wiggins was great, but I think I even mentioned he could possibly revert back, and they nail me to the cross. That's what these guys do sometimes around here. Oh, he's a hater. Yeah, I hate my own squad. Fuck out of here. Just call it how I see it. I don't want to be on that homer bullshit. Plus, Poole seems to miss many clutch layups. Like, he missed some tonight. We obviously watching. Closing out games has been our weakness. That's Poole, though. In the clutch, he be doing some weirdo shit. Dribbling too much, turning over, dropping it off his foot.
So I take it we didn't have no miraculous comeback and we lost?
I guess not. But we are missing we've talked about it before. We're missing Otto Porter. We're missing GP2.
Not missing
those guys.
Not scoring no more.
Yeah.
They are out of here. Shit.
Kuminga's got to step it up.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on with Kuminga?
I don't hate Poole, but I don't drink his bathwater like you and E Major do. You've seen the weaknesses there. They have not improved. So, I mean, to go out and pay that guy a bag did not make any sense to me. I thought maybe you should have traded him. Got something great for him. Got some good value for him at the time. Now his weaknesses are being shown a little bit more. You're not going to be able to trade him as easily. You're not going to get back the great compensation you would have got if you would have traded him when he was on a high note.
Just trade him now or the deadline's over.
Otto is sorely missed. Yeah.
I don't
think this current iteration of the Warriors is gonna win a championship. I'm with you guys. I say maybe. Maybe they can make it to the final, the conference finals, but I don't see them making it past the better teams with a little bit deeper benches.
I think we'll lose to Dallas.
We have no center. Looney he's okay. I mean, he's a hustle guy, but he's not doing anything for you offensively. So he's an offensive liability on the court. When he's out there, he drops all these balls. He has a lot of turnovers too, some goofy plays.
Balls.
Yeah. So we have no big man. We got Wiseman, unless Kerr is gonna magically bring out the greatness of him the second half of the season, but I don't see it. I think you're going to be looking at a possibly conference championship, but I don't think we can make it out of the. And even if we did, I think we'd probably lose to an Eastern Conference team at this point. We haven't shown the defensive ability. We haven't shown.
Dallas might fucking win it.
We haven't shown enough. We need that big power forward type of player, like a Porter, David West type. Agreed. Anybody in the buyout market available? I don't think there's anybody really out there. I looked the other day and I didn't see anybody that would really crossed my mind. Kerr and staff are poor at developing centers. They are. This is true. I mean, we haven't had a dominant center this whole run. The best center we'd have, you'd say, would be Bogut. Jaja was a role player, but he was decent. It seems like Kerr is of the mindset he can win without a center, and I've never been on board with that. I always felt like Steph and Clay would be better with the big man grabbing them boards down there, kicking it back out. It would improve them, or somebody he could feed down low when Steph and Clay are not as hot. When they're in a cold streak, feed it down low, get some easy 2-point buckets. Bogut was a trade. Yeah, that's true. Looney's a power forward. True. Draymond is a power forward as well. So, yeah, Warriors got some issues this year. And it's not like you don't have the same confidence as you had last year. You don't have that same feel. They don't have that championship aura. They never put it together like they did early on last season. They had some injuries. Steph got hurt, and they looked, I still feel confident once Steph was back and Clay was adapted back to the NBA life that they were going to win it all. I said it on here. This year, I can't say honestly that I feel like we're gonna win the world championship. It would be great. But I just at this point don't see it. I feel like we should make a move for KD. I said it in the beginning of the season. I said get KD. A lot of people were against it, saying like, "Oh, we don't want him back." This and that. Man, you got to get over
why not? Yeah,
personal shit.
Why not?
We're trying to win rings here. We ain't gonna carry out these vendettas. If he can make our team better and get us some rings, we got declining guys in Steph and Clay. I know they haven't shown much decline, but in the next couple of years, they're going to be declining. You want to win for them while they're still very good weapons in the league. You want to get them. You want to get them that ring. Yeah, you want to get them that ring.
Get at least 5.
So
okay.
I don't know who is out there at this point where we could even make anything happen, but it's not looking great for the Warriors right now. So hopefully, bring back KD. Yeah, I would give up Wiggins. I would give up Moody, throw in some draft picks. I'd even consider Kuminga. I consider Wiseman, Kuminga.
Yeah,
Wiseman, Kuminga, and you have to throw Wiggins in there to make it work salary-wise. And NBA got that weird. You have to match salary. So Wiggins is a must if you're gonna talk about a KD trade. So I would go as far as Wiggins, Wiseman, and possibly Kuminga. I mean, because what you're getting back from KD is like we don't have anybody on the roster who can even compare to KD's mid-range jumpers, 3-pointers. He's even effective in the post at times. Defensively, he's not great, but he can block some shots. He has the length to disrupt some shots. Will says keep Ming, get rid of Wiseman.
Fuck is Ming?
Ming. Ming from the Ted movie. Ming.
Death to Ming. Yeah, get rid of Wiseman ass. I was even.
You would think that the Nets would be willing to trade KD right now too, because they already traded Kyrie. So what do they even have that's there? They're not winning a ring this year. Let KD go in peace. I mean, you get some young pieces.
Let him go in peace.
Kuminga. Ming. Yeah, let KD come back. I mean, I don't know. And then you got this Bob Myers stuff. We don't know where his head's at. There's rumors that Lacob is trying to groom his son to be the next GM and let Myers go. I think Myers did a pretty damn good job. I would keep him.
Yeah, Myers did decent. I mean, fuck, he got the dynasty, right? He done built this shit.
Yeah, he started this shit.
That's some motherfucking thanks you get. No, bitch.
But maybe he just wants to go on and move on and do something else. That's a possibility too. We don't really know what's going on behind the scenes.
Well, get us KD then. I'm down. Fuck KD. Get rid of Wiseman ass. Like that dude's overstayed his welcome. I didn't even want his ass at fucking 2 anyway. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
Wow,
I
that
picked.
was
I said Obi Toppin. He hasn't set the world on fire
yeah.
either, but I
But he's
think in
no
our
good
offense he'd be
but he played.
yeah.
He's at least fucking playing.
I
What the
think in
fuck
our
is
offense Obi
talking about?
Toppin would be nice because you have the two shooters out there. You could send them to cut towards the basket,
He
get
could
some
pass it, attack the
attack the
rim.
rim.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it might be a good fit eventually if he gets released or something. We could probably swoop him up. Yeah, I mean Wiseman, man,
That was a
you're not
sweep.
seeing much improvement when he is on the court. He has like flashes here and there. I know on 95.7 they often compare him to Trey, but I don't. You've seen but much more flashes from Trey than you've had from
Trey who?
Wiseman when he's out there. Trey Lance. They compare him to Trey Lance, like their circumstances, the way.
No.
Yeah, Trey's shown more in
Yeah,
his
Trey,
limited time than Wiseman.
that's not even close. Wiseman doesn't even play. What the fuck does he play? Like if you talk about like equivalent, like if you break down the equivalent, it's like he probably only played fucking 2 games, equivalent football games that Wiseman. I'm talking about playing, not even starting, just like playing.
But even when Wiseman's been in there, like he's been.
That's what I'm saying. Like he ain't.
I don't think that comparison's fair. I
No,
mean, he's only played 4 games, so I know you don't agree, but whatever. That's all good.
no. I still well. Getting back at this, me how I feel about no. He's the two are completely different. I think I'm with you. Trey done more than what the fuck Wiseman done with the Warriors. That's what I'm saying. Like, nah. Fuck that. Wiseman sucks, dude. This cut your losses already.
Let's hope they get it together.
We already
I got to look more into the buyout market. Well, it'll start happening after tomorrow. The deadline's tomorrow, and then after that, you're going to get a influx of some buyout players looking for a new home. Like I said, I hope Juan Toscano Anderson gets bought out. That would be nice. Bring him back. I know he ain't going to be the difference between a championship and a, but he could match up on some players defensively. Get us some minutes off the bench. So we'll see.
Oh,
We'll see.
You know what I do know is you're a bitch.
Fuck are you? Fuck me? Fuck you.
I don't know. I don't think Dubs are doing it. They gonna get in there, but they ain't gonna. Yeah, they ain't gonna go far. We don't have the bench. I just don't think we have the bench. We ain't got the fucking players to continue the fucking shit.
Yeah.
Even when one of our stars ain't playing well, we don't got no one on the bench that can pick the shit up. It's just
What do you we're done with that. You want to get to anything else? Anything else on your mind you want to get off? Any other topics?
No, but fuck the Eagles. That's about it.
Yeah, fuck the Eagles.
Still,
and their fans. Their fans are so fucking annoying.
Yeah, I hit their fucking.
Well, we would have beat you guys even if you don't know that shit, man. Our quarterback went on the first drive to be like we would have beat you guys. Like that's
no, my favorite that these dipshits do, and they're like, "Yeah, we put out both your quarterbacks." I was like, "Yeah, really?" Because you didn't put out no fucking quarterbacks this year, and then you put out 2 in the championship game. Like, how big of a fucking fluke is that?
Fluky.
Like, fucking idiots. And I was like, "But your O-line's the best in history." Oh yeah, is that why fucking Jalen got fucking put out by the weak ass Bears? Is that why? You're the best O-line, dipshits.
Want to do? What are we watching? What have we been watching? Anything you've been watching?
I really ain't watching. Oh, I've been watching that poker face shit by your boy fucking Ryan Johnson.
Ooh.
It's all right. When he doesn't do Star Wars, he has somewhat.
Oh, that guy.
Still, yeah, that fucking guy. When he's not doing Star Wars, he actually has like somewhat decent shit. But I mean, it's all right. It's kind of getting repetitive now, though. 5 episodes in.
I seen that. I seen that. What is it? Knock on the Cabin. That was okay. M. Night Shyamalan. It was all right. It wasn't bad. I went with my daughter. She liked it. I thought it was okay. It was kind of cool, but I mean, it wasn't great, but it was decent.
M. Nightish.
Yeah, it was that same vibe. It was a little slow, but I thought it was solid. I thought it was. I wouldn't say it was great or terrible. Just in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Big Leo didn't like it. I know he's seen
it. When you say we, I haven't seen it. So, but for what I'm hearing,
I haven't seen it either. But I've heard some people complaining, but I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's whatever. I'm
gonna get caught up on that. The new episode of that is on Friday actually, because they're shook off the Super Bowl, so they're not going to be running it on Sunday. They're going to run it this Friday, the newest episode. I'm gonna try to get caught up this week on that. Back to the Warriors. Will says Damian Jones, James Wiseman, Festus Ezeli busts. Right, Festus Ezeli would have been good, but he had them injuries. Those knee injuries, I think it was. He was good. I thought he had a lot of potential. He would have been nice. He was nice. He was decent.
Yeah. Well,
He says be prepared for that Last of Us.
Whatever. I'll just skip it. No, I mean I'll watch it. I haven't got around to watching it. I'll watch it though.
Oh, you haven't watched any of them?
I
Any
tried
episodes?
watching. I tried watching the first one. Like I got as far as
First one
guess,
was solid. I like that episode.
Yeah. I guess he's still. That's his daughter. I think is that the one with the curly hair, the little, I guess biracial kid. Is that his daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, she's still alive.
We finished the episode. Yeah, finished it.
Yeah. So I haven't.
It's
got
good.
to
I think it's pretty good. I haven't seen episode 3. First 2 episodes are pretty good.
Yeah.
What else? Ted Lasso. I'm on season 2 of that. That's pretty funny. Check that out if you get a chance. It's kind of cold. Some funny shit in there. What else have I been watching?
Yeah, I mean,
ready to watch that Quantumania. That's gonna be sick.
Oh yeah,
we talked about that already.
Can't wait for
Check that out. I got my tickets already.
Did you? Comes out this Friday, right? Or next Friday?
16th, 17th technically, but you can get tickets for the 16th.
Yeah. Good. Last day of Bel Air shooting. That's good.
Ezeli will always be remembered fouling LeBron in the finals. I liked Ezeli. I thought he was probably he would have been the second best big man we had in this dynasty run. Leo, anything you're watching? I know Yellowstone's not back yet. I think it's coming back soon.
Oh yeah, I was watching that a little bit. You know,
what do you think? You like it?
I'm still. Yeah, it's cool. I'm still on the first season though. I haven't done anything. I still haven't finished watching the rest of that '90s show.
Yeah, I finished that. It's okay. It's like a C+ maybe.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like the kids are kind of annoying. Red and Kitty are hella funny. I went back and I started watching some of the '70s show again.
That's classic for me until about 5th season. After 5th season, it's kind of like, But
yeah, I don't think I watched once Foreman left. I stopped watching that shit.
Yeah, that's later.
Fall is coming back any day now. Sometime soon on FX.
Oh,
that's
I think it's the 5th, maybe 17th. I think next week. Last year's coming out next week, huh? 15th or 17th or something like that.
And
yeah,
Wu-Tang, when's Wu-Tang coming back?
Yeah,
March?
That's been coming up.
AD, Big Leo says AD been hyping him up to watch. No, I heard BMF is good, and I just haven't got around to watching it. I'm gonna start checking that out too. All Stars got hella shit. They got that Tommy show. They got BMF. They got Raising Kanan.
Have they started shooting Tommy, or have they?
I haven't finished the first season yet. I got to get on that.
I fuck with that one. That one's cool. Let me see, Tommy.
It's called Force.
Yeah, there you go, Force.
I ain't been watching too much else. Disney Plus been dead. I watch Bad Batch here and there. That's okay.
Oh,
they're short. Their episodes are like 20 minutes.
February 7th? Oh, so today? I mean, yesterday?
What is? For what?
Well, it's not today. I mean, it wasn't yesterday. It said yesterday, but that's definitely not it.
For what?
For Force.
Oh, okay.
Force season 2. That shit is cold. Tommy's cold.
Yeah, I wanted to check out You People. I haven't seen that one yet. I heard that was funny. The movie on Netflix.
Which one?
You People.
It was all right.
Oh, you seen it?
Yeah, it was okay.
I heard it was hella funny. I heard some people say it wasn't that good, so it's mixed reviews, I guess.
Yeah, it was cool. It wasn't that great, but it was fun.
I checked out that
London Dance got a little chunky. She's still good.
Yeah. everything all at once. I was not a fan. It was kind of some like corny stuff in there, some weird stuff in there. Just kind of like whatever. I don't know. A lot of people were hyping it up. I was, yeah, I'll give that one like a C maybe. I got no intent of watching that one again. Short Round was like one of the main characters in there. There was a lot of hype, and I was like, I don't like any of those A24 movies, honestly. It's weirdo shit.
Oh, I was watching that Lopez versus Lopez.
That's kind of funny.
Shit, yeah.
It's not as good as the Lopez show.
Yeah, but it's well, that was all. Come to find out, that's all like real shit. Like he actually lost his house in fucking COVID, and like all that stuff that was going on is really based on like real life shit. Like they're just putting it out there, like for real. Yeah, like for real. So that's what his daddy. That's how. That's his daughter. Just like his ass. That's how she got the show. She was putting out fucking TikToks and shit. Because how it starts out in the beginning. Like, oh yeah, it's me, and all that bullshit. But that's what it's based on.
Yeah, I seen the first 2 episodes of that. That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean it's cool.
I was watching a Reboot. That shit's kind of funny. I don't know if you got to check that out on Hulu. Got Johnny Knoxville and Paul Reiser. That shit's kind of funny. But they just canceled it, so fuck. That show's kind of funny. I like that shit. But they canceled it, so yeah, there goes that. Kind of funny. What else? Big Leo, anything? Got anything to add? I want to see that Creed 3. I think that's gonna be good.
I can beat Jordan against my fucking nerves.
And he's supposedly directing. That's kind of got me hesitant, but
just don't like the way he
pretty
look.
much.
Just like the way he look. I can't look at him.
Yeah, he's just got an asshole attitude too. Like, I remember he was talking shit like he really wanted to box because he was sparring Roy Jones and
didn't he get? Yeah, but he got his shit cracked, didn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
HBO Max ain't been dropping too much.
Yeah, Cocaine Bear. That shit does.
Oh, Cocaine Bear. Yeah. Cocaine Bear looks sick.
Yeah, I bet. The movie and real life.
That one. Gotta peep that. That looks fucking hilarious.
Tequila Bear.
Though I haven't been watching too much else.
Tequila Bear.
I don't find nothing on Amazon Prime to watch. I've been looking on there.
Oh, I got a few things on that shit. I got to watch that Vox Machina. I got to watch that Hunters second season. That shit was cold. I got a lot of shit to watch. Well, good. Well, since Bel Air is fucking ending, I can get back to fucking chilling, catching up on shit.
Oh, they're done? They're having a 3rd season?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they greenlit it. The shit might be filmed. I don't know. They might start filming it again for a couple months, maybe another month. We'll see.
Big Leo says Ant-Man next week.
Yeah.
Seen the trailer for Stray? No. What's that about, Leo?
What is that?
What that be about, man?
Okay, you can come on now. It's okay. Well, I'm about to get off in a minute. So
it's all right, Leo. You can come on now. Don't be shook. Don't be shook now. I'm gonna start rewatching some old movies too.
Yeah.
I haven't been doing that as much as I normally do.
I was watching The Campaign. I shot that shit in New Orleans. I was working on that in New Orleans. That shit's fucking kind of funny. You ever seen it with fucking Farrell and Galifianakis?
Nah, I heard the Bear's good. Some people were telling me the Bear's good, but I don't know. It's on FX.
What, the DeVito shit? Oh, that's Jack the Bear.
Yeah, no, it's called The Bear. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but some people were telling me it was good, and I heard it was good. Some people on the radio were saying it was good.
All these bears, let me tell you.
The Bears who we thought they were. They were what we thought they were.
Warzone.
What do you say?
I got to work on Saturday, too.
Warzone.
Another week. I can play all I want. Be off.
Yeah, anybody else watching out there, drop Drop some shows to watch. We need to
Yeah.
get some new stuff in the library.
Indeed. Should have asked
Drop it in the comments when you get a
forgot
chance.
to ask Jesse about his because you know he does UFC shit. He does MMA shit. I think he commentates and does shit on MMA too. I think he even practices MMA.
Does
Should
he?
ask him about some of that shit. Yeah.
Maybe he could tap you out. That'd be great.
Should ask him.
Put you in.
It'd be good to go on
fucking.
TDC. Put him on there.
Oh yeah, we could do that. Bring back TDC. It's been a while. We got to talk some boxing. We haven't talked enough boxing on here. Ryan Garcia up to his own bullshit.
Still not fighting nobody.
Yeah, we got some fights coming up. We'll talk about it next episode. It's already getting kind of late here. Early for us, but I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired too.
Let's
ready to go.
Let's get on out of here.
Let's wrap it up.
Go Chiefs. Fuck the Eagles. Right on to Jesse for coming on. Great insight. Great having you on here to bounce ideas off. And he gelled well with us, I feel. And maybe we'll get Grant Cohn on this episode, one of these episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, Mr. Cohn.
Stop being shook, Grant.
She just fucking fled his fucking DM. Let's go spam
We
his
could
shit.
have Jesse speak to him for us. Put in a good letter of recommendation. You should go on with the bastards. Go on with the bastards.
Go on.
They're bastards, but they're fair bastards.
Sure. Gotta see what he play. He'd be in line with our shit. Because he's not homerish at all.
Nah.
We're not.
I think he's a little bit on the opposite end of the spectrum on that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well,
I think I'm like
get fucking.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit. I was like, this guy. But that motherfucker wasn't wrong. He ain't wrong about fucking Kinlaw.
Wasn't.
Getting mad because he called him fucking says he wasn't doing shit. Well, can't dispute it, buddy.
All right. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
All right.
Trade day will be upon us soon.
And like I said, please give us if you like the episode, give us a like, subscribe, hit that bell so you know when we come on, we change up. So
drop some comments. Drop some comments.
Yeah. Drop comments. If you guys want to come on, go ahead, DM us on the Instagram. Yeah, exactly.
We love to argue. I do. I don't mind schooling a lot of people out there.
Drama for your mom.
Yeah, Womack loves drama, so that's perfect.
So if you want to come on at all, just
miss me with that shit.
Yeah, shut up. Drop us a DM over there on the Instagram, right? That's Gold Dirty Bastards Podcast. That's at gold_dirty_bastards. With a what? With a Z, bitch. Not an S _podcast. And then you can catch us on the Twitters where I fucking troll and harass people, piss people off sometimes because they piss me off. But catch us on that's at Gold Bastards with a Z, not an S. And then catch us on our link tree. That's where everything is at. Nip hooked it up with that. And then that should be it. So
yeah, all of our shit's on Linktree. You'll see it on the end slide where to find us. You could also go to our IG or our Twitter, and the links in bios for all those. Has links to all of our content here, all of our social media platforms. Discord. We're trying to build that Discord up, get that popping. We're going to teach Womack how to use it. Yeah, if you know how to use Discord, please explain to Womack how to use it. Tired of babysitting this guy through all this shit.
Tutorial. We'll figure it out.
Got time for this guy's bullshit.
We're doing good. Serious.
Discord.
Anyway. All right then. Anything else? I'm good. You good?
I'm good.
All right, cool.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Peace.
Like, follow, subscribe. Go Chiefs.
Going.